Live from Milwaukee County Stadium in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the NFL on CBS brings you the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers meeting for the 125th time. It is Packer weather here in Milwaukee today. 26 degrees, snow is falling, 3 inches expected, a wind chill of 5 degrees. Hi everybody, I'm Tim Ryan here in Milwaukee, and the Detroit Lions come in here at 3-9 today, trying to salvage a season that was savaged by personal tragedy and injuries to a lot of their starters. They are really looking ahead to next year, just wanting to finish well this season, and Wayne Fontes, their coach, will start Rodney Peete at quarterback today after 3 starts by Eric Kramer. But we could see Andre Ware, and Fontes promises that he will be in action, the former Heisman Trophy winner, before this season ends. I'm joined by Matt Millen here in Milwaukee, and while the Lions have to look forward now to next year, the Green Bay Packers at 6-6 still have a shot at a playoff.
Yeah, they got a shot. You know what? We saw them the first week practicing. We watched them again this past week. Boy, what a difference. Up-tempo, crisp. They're starting to understand what Mike Holmgren was trying to get across. What Mike Holmgren says, look, we're not where we want to be, but we're a lot further along than we thought we'd be. And the biggest reason is number 4, Brett Favre. You know, Favre's really just a rookie, and he surpassed everybody's expectations except probably his own. He's second in the NFC for completion percentage. And where he's been having his most completions, Sterling Sharp. 82 receptions, 4 games to play. He's well on his way to breaking the single-season record.
Well, Sterling Sharp, certainly the key factor, but today the weather may be. For the Green Bay Packers, it's the kind of weather they and their fans like. Here in Milwaukee, when they announced the temperature and the fact that more snow would be falling, there were loud cheers from those already assembled in a sellout crowd at County Stadium. There will be very few no-shows despite this kind of weather. Detroit will kick it off. Corey Harris and Robert Brooks are the deep men for the Packers. It's a short kickoff, and it's taken by Yurkovich, the nose tackle, and he rumbles up to the 36-yard line. And that's the kind of an odd little thing that can give a team a lift early on. Brett Favre will bring on the offense, the youngster out of southern Mississippi who has been brilliant so far. Ken Rutgers, Frank Winters, James Campen, Ron Hallstrom, Tootie Robbins, and Jackie Harris across the front. Winners for the injured Rich Moran. Darrell Thompson gets the start at running back today, coming off injuries. Harry Sidney, Sterling Sharp, and Ron Lewis are the wide receivers.
Well, I tell you, John Yurkovich, one of the fine return men for the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, that was really a dangerous situation for the Lions facing his return. First down, Pack at their 35. Darrell Thompson on first down, picking up close to 5. Defensively, the Lions are without their main man, Jerry Ball, at nose tackle. Lawrence Peete will go there. Ball out with a ankle injury. Spindler and Pritchett on the ends. The linebackers, Jamison, Spielman, Gibson, Tracy Scroggins starting again for Mike Kofer, who's gone for the year with a knee injury. Crockett, Jenkins, White, and Blades, the secondary. A good one. Second down and 5, and there is the leading tackler for the Lions, the energetic and inspired Chris Spielman. On second down, Jackie Harris, the tight end, has a first. Gang tackled, but he was, and the ball came loose. The Lions come up with it, but play had been whistled dead. William White picking up the loose ball and heading toward the end zone through the snow. Doesn't want to give the ball back to the official, but play had been whistled dead.
And I'll tell you, that's a great example right there, getting involved with Jackie Harris. You know, you're going to see ball control offense. Some teams, they like to control the ball, control the game running the ball. This Green Bay Packer offense, it likes to control the game with a short passing game, a la San Francisco. And this man right here, Brett Favre, has learned from Mike Holmgren. And what he's learned from Mike Holmgren and is learning is patience with the offense. Now, what he does have, Tim, he has patience in the pocket, and that's something you don't really see with a young quarterback, but he has to learn patience with his offense and let it develop.
Well, as we said, Harris had made the first down yardage before he was knocked back and the ball came loose. Play had been whistled dead, so they have it at the 45-yard line. Green Bay opening drive. Light snow falling, but it is a typical Packer wintry scene for December here in Milwaukee.
This is beautiful. This is perfect Green Bay Packer.
Green Bay has won 3 games in a row, trying for 4 for the first time since 1984. Harris, the tight end again. He's got running room. and gets to the 40-yard line of Detroit.
That's beautiful, you know, and there's that little bit of patience we just talked about and how it shows up. You know, Brett Favre has that big, strong arm, right? But there comes a time in a game when you cannot use your arm. You got to have the touch. You cannot define touch any better than this. Look at this. Woo! Right over the top. Harris picks it, and we said, well, we didn't say, but we're going to say right now, Jackie Harris is big in this game plan. The kind of defense that Detroit is running, Jackie Harris figures to have a big day, and they're not shy about getting to him.
Green Bay wants to go to him, knowing the way that the Green Bay secondary plays in their zone formation. The 14-yard gain. Blades made that tackle. This is Thompson. He gets 6, maybe 7 more. Tackle out the left side by George Jamison. Darrell Thompson, a third-year man for Minnesota. He was the number 2 pick in 1990, but he's been bothered by injuries. Much of that rookie year he missed with injury. Had a few more last year and again this year.
And they don't really know where he's going to be when they're coming back. You know, we asked him if he's healthy. We asked the Green Bay staff if he's healthy, and they kind of held their breath and say, well, we think he is. We hope he is. We're going to find out on Sunday.
Well, it made the rookie Edgar Bennett a little unhappy. He had got to play because Vince Workman is now on injured reserve, went down, and Bennett had a 100-yard game, 38 yards last week, and expected to continue to start. The pass to Thompson out of the backfield, and he breaks the tackle and gets down inside the 25-yard line, close to the 20, where they spot it. Melvin Jenkins steered him out.
Again, now you just saw that little drop pass with a little touch that Brett Favre. Now when you have to have the arm, this is where to use it. Now it's short, it's underneath the zone. You're going to see the wide receiver clear out. Now here's Thompson. See, he put a little zip in that ball, delivers it to the outside. Now watch at the end. Thompson lowers his shoulder, gets up, flips that ball, and what that tells you, he's back. Darrell Thompson, you got to have a guy when he comes in like that, you really got to let him have some success, and that's a good start.
William White missed the tackle there, enabling Thompson to turn it into a 14-yard gain. First down, Green Bay. Thompson running wide. Through 2 Lions. First down at the 10-yard line. William White finally steered him out. Thompson off to a good start.
That's what he had to have, and you know what? That's exactly what Detroit cannot afford. See, Detroit defensively, what they have to do is they have to stop them early. There's a lot of things going on, and what you don't want to foster is an attitude of, once we're down, we're going to quit. You cannot have that. So Wayne Fontes is going to find a way to get that defense pumped and keep it pumped the whole game.
Fontes essentially a defensive coach and has a lot of pride in this Lions defense. It has struggled somewhat, especially late in games this season. And of course today's without Jerry Ball, their outstanding nose tackle.
That's tough. I'll tell you, Tim, it's tough when you get to this position and guys are hurt and he's trying to experiment. And essentially, really, he's given us a last preseason game scenario. I mean, we talked to him and he says, look, we got to start looking at people for next year. And what that says to the team is we don't have a chance now.
3-9 the Lions. First down at the 10-yard line. Green Bay. Thompson again. Thompson this time is stuffed at the line of scrimmage by Mark Spindler, number 92. Left defensive end.
Now there's a tough guy. I mean, there's one of those guys when I talk to him, all he ever talks to me about is how he beats people up. He says, you should see the other day, man, I was with I beat him up. You know, we're playing in this game, boy, I beat him up. And this guy, all he wants to do is pound on people constantly. We're not going to battle there, are we? Kind of guy you like to have on your team because he's not going to quit, and he is a fighter.
Well, they held Thompson to no gain at 2nd and 10. Two receivers to the left. Play action. Far flush will run it. Trying to get to the goal line. He'll be short by about a yard. Pritchett had the pressure on him, number 94. Benny Blades pushed him out before the goal line.
Yeah, but did you see the way he got down there at the end, Tim? I mean, he was not about to slide. He wasn't going to go ahead. He just hurled himself into the guy. Hey, you're going to tackle me. Let's make it good. Now you watch him walking back to the huddle. Saw him a couple times with his shoulder. And here he comes, and he's coming down. Watch him. See, just jumping. Jumping from that 4-yard line, trying to get as much as he can. Brett Favre is one great competitor.
And landing on that injured left shoulder. Two tight ends are in. West and Harris now. 3rd and goal from the 1. Touchdown.
Tim, you could not draw it up any better for Darrell Thompson. You say, look, get on right behind number 42, Harry Sidney, and follow him right in. The one thing Harry Sidney has brought to this offense, you can see him right here at the fullback. He understands what his job is, and his job right there was to kick out Chris Spielman, and he did a great job. Thompson in for the score.
Chris Jackie will attempt the point after.
See, the first guy to congratulate him there was Mitch Morton.
And the Green Bay Packers on their opening drive have gone 65 yards in 9 plays, punctuated by this touchdown run by Thompson.
It's McDonald's Holiday Film Festival, now featuring the American epic Dances with Wolves. The original full-length video unbelievably priced at just $7.99 when you buy any large sandwich. So hurry in and pick up Dances with Wolves. Also available, the family favorite, Babes in Toyland, and the hilarious Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. These films just $5.99 each when you buy any large sandwich. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Tim Ryan with Matt Millen in Milwaukee, where it is 26 degrees, light snow falling. And the Green Bay Packers on their opening drive took 5:08 off the clock, 65 yards and 9 yards in the 9 plays, and Thompson a 1-yard run for the score. And good performance by that offensive line on the drive. There's Campen and Hallstrom in the picture.
Yeah, both of them, and I think we're going to show you in a second what Ronnie Hallstrom got away with on that touchdown.
Jackie's kickoff is short. Unusual for him, comes down at the 14. And it is Mel Gray out to the 35-yard line. Good field position for the Lions in their first offensive possession. Carl Carter on the hit.
Now watch right here. See, this is Ronnie Hallstrom, see? And what he does is he gets away. His job is to go and kick out force. But he gets away right here. See William White right there? Boom. See this? Watch the arm on the neck. That should be a hold right there. See, right? Boom. See that? Should have been caught. Wasn't. Touchdown. So sometimes, you know, there are penalties and sometimes there's not. The difference is when the flag is thrown, you are caught.
Typical defensive lament, I would say, spoken by a linebacker. First down from the 35-yard line. This is where Green Bay started from on their first possession. Barry Sanders, 2, maybe 3 yards. Pulled down from behind by George Kuntz, number 53. Rodney Peete getting a start after watching from the sidelines the last 3 weeks for Detroit, and had been a starter at the beginning of the year. Still considered their top guy, but maybe some doubt creeping in on the part of Wayne Font. Brown, Bowens, 2 new starters, Leonard Burton at center for the rookie Blake Miller, Jack Lynn off the practice squad at right guard for the injured Dallafour, with Conover at tackle. Sanders, Green, Perriman, Farr, Herman Moore. That's when they had the 4 wides in there with Sanders as the lone running back. Occasionally you'll see the tight ends, Jimmy Johnson, Thomas McLemore. Flash. Pete's pass off the mark, short. Intended for Perriman.
That was
Butler had a better shot at it.
Beautiful defense right there.
Well, this is the defensive team the Green Bay Packers show today. Matt Brock and Robert Brown surrounding John Yurkovich. Kuntz, Noble, Holland, and Bennett, the linebackers. And Terrell Buckley, the number 1 choice on the left corner, with Roland Mitchell on the right side. Butler and Chuck Cecil are the safeties. And Cecil, the vocal leader back there, and he also leads by example. Denny Clark is also on the field now. 3rd down and 7. Screen for Sanders. First down, Lions. To the 47-yard line. Tony Bennett, the linebacker, number 90, and Chuck Cecil, number 26, combined on the hit.
You know, in this game, the whole thing is about what is the box. Now, this is the box from end to end. See this? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in the box. Now, when this motion comes across, up comes the 7th, okay? Now, that is for both sides of the offense. Now they're even. Now, when I spoke to the offensive coaches of Detroit today, they said sometimes we'll give Barry Sanders that guy. We don't care if they have an extra guy because we think Sanders can beat them all by himself.
Well, it comes back on that play, unfortunately for Detroit. An illegal block by Sean Bowens, the left guard, number 66. And they bring it back to the 34-yard line of the Lions. It'll be third down, about 10 and a half.
As you're looking at Sean Bowens right there, you know, the thing is, in the beginning of the year, he was the rookie. Now, at the end of the year, he's like an old vet because there's so many young guys out there.
Bryce Hopp has come in as a pass rusher for the Packers. There's running room for Pete, and Pete has the first down. And again, like Favre, no thought of sliding in there. He wanted to get to the marker and dove head first to the 46-yard line of the Lions.
You know, it's funny with Rodney Pete right now at the end of the season, and it's funny because he's got to prove himself. They're playing revolving quarterback there in Detroit, and Rodney Pete, he's had some success, and now he's come to the end of the year, and Wayne Fontes is saying, look, I want to see really what he can do, and that kind of strikes me as odd there.
First down at the 45-yard line of the Lions. Sanders picks up 5, maybe 6 yards on the play. It'll leave 2nd and 4. Now they're going to spot it as a 5-yard gain. Brock and Butler made the tackle.
There's Barry Sanders. You see that 934 yards right there. You know, that is amazing. Consider all the tragedy that's gone on, all the people in and out, the line shifts, new people calling the offensive line calls, all the things that have gone on, and Barry Sanders still has a chance for a 1,000-yard season, and they're committed to him in that 1,000 yards. And Tim, I'll tell you, he just again proves to you why he's the best back in football.
No doubt. Second down, a long 5. Fumble. Pete recovers his own fumble of the snap, and they'll lose 2, maybe 3 on the play. Buried immediately by Johnny Holland, the linebacker number 50.
Yeah, you know, that's that new center in there, Burton and Pete. And now you expect this to happen sometimes because practice is one thing, but games are completely different, especially when you got snow down. And they'll be doing a good job, the officials, of keeping that ball dry. But now there's the snap, you see, and that's not Burton's fault. That's Rodney Pete's fault. He didn't have his hands together to take the snap. And that's something that's got to be worked out and should be worked out before they ever get to the game.
Saw Burton making the line calls, and that's another thing Matt no doubt will be watching closely because he's new at that as well. Pete slipped a little bit, hangs in there, and is going deep for Herman Moore. He's got it inside the 10-yard line. Outstanding pass and catch. Pete to Herman Moore.
And coverage, Tim. Roland Mitchell is right on him, and he's where he has to be. And Herman Moore just gets down and finds the inside. Mitchell will hang to his outside, so that ball has got to be right where he throws it. Now, he's just patient, waits for him to get open. Now, there he is. See, nobody in the center of the field. Mitchell comes over the top. Chuck Cecil gets there a little too late.
A 44-yarder. Outstanding. You saw the quarterback, Pete, slip as he tried to set up and regain his balance and threw a perfect strike. So Detroit now, 1st and goal at the 8-yard line of Green Bay. Well strung out. Tony Bennett pushed him out. Brian Noble was there. Butler. 3 Packers. And you got to have more than 1 on Sanders.
Yeah, it looks like there's a flag laying down on there in the field.
Flag on the flag.
It's against Green Bay.
5-yard face mask foul against the defense. That'll be half the distance. That'll be half the distance. Repeat, first down.
Line of scrimmage was at the 8-yard line.
Now that was a good call. They blitz on the inside with Noble. Now they force him outside. Now there comes the hand right there. See? Jeez, I don't see that one. Maybe it's another one. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
right
well, you
there.
see what happened there was Bennett missed his grab on the mask. Right. So they felt they had to make up for that, I guess.
Yeah, you always do. See, if there's a face mask to be grabbed, then, you know, you always grab it. One guy misses it, next guy gets it.
So half the distance has them now at the 5-yard line, inside the 5. Pete to the corner for Moore. He's all jammed up by Buckley, and it's incomplete.
I like that call out there, and that's good defense right there. And you want to see that offensive call if you're the Detroit Lions, because Buckley, he's just a little guy. He's only 5'8", 5'9". Herman Moore, he's 6'3". And so where do you go? You go with the fade and try to use the height. Now, this is a beautiful job by Buckley right there. See that? gets the jam, stays in front of him. Ball's got to come quick. Nice defense. Also, another great call down there by defensive coordinator Ray Rhodes of the Green Bay Packers. 2 plays inside the red zone, 2 blitzes.
Second and goal. Loose ball again. This one might be the Packers.
They got it. Johnny Holland has that ball.
Again, the exchange. Pete from Leonard Burton, the new center. And Holland comes up with it for the Packers. So the Lions are stopped. It is Green Bay ball at their 6.
This season, when you buy a KFC holiday meal, I'll give you a coupon book worth up to $75 on select Mattel toys. The KFC holiday meal. Feed a family of 4, just $9.99.
Happy holidays!
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is spun. Appears with that.
Tim Ryan with Matt Millen, 4:43 to go in the first quarter. Let's see what happened here on the exchange from Burton to Pete.
Now this appears to be a great snap by Burton, and the ball is up. He doesn't pull out too soon. He just never got his hands on it. I have to think maybe it's the cold weather, or I don't know what it is. And I have to wait till after the game to ask him.
Well, it's first down Green Bay. We know that at their 6-yard line, leading 7-0. Darrell Thompson. Thompson blasts out for a gain of 7, maybe 8 on the play before he's met by Blades, number 36.
Nice job again by Thompson. And there, hey, it looks like he's got his confidence, and he turned that corner, and that man right there, Benny Blades, he came up and smacked him. Now, when we spoke last night to Woody Weidenhofer, the defensive coordinator for Detroit, we asked him who's really playing well for this team. You know, he named a couple guys, but the one he said is having an all-pro year, better than last year, is this man right here, Benny Blades.
Benny Blades with 77 tackles, 50 solo on the season, plus 2 interceptions. 2nd and 3, Green Bay. Thompson again, cuts it back nicely, and has a first down to the 22-yard line of the Packers. Well, Thompson has been waiting for a chance to put a few games together, live up to his number 2 billing in 1990 out of the University of Minnesota. And they felt that he was finally healthy and ready to go. He had a quad injury earlier this season, then an ankle. But he did well when he got in against Philadelphia before hurting that ankle.
And what he does well, he just turns and he gets up the field. And that's exactly what they say Edgar Bennett didn't do last week. He said he looked like a different runner from week to week.
Florida State rookie Edgar Bennett turned in a 100-yard effort in his first outing as a starter. Catch by Lewis, Ron Lewis, the new acquisition on waivers from the 49ers. A first down at the 35-yard line.
Boy, Ryan Lewis right there. I was with him out there in San Francisco, and when he came into camp, you were just waiting for him. You knew he was going to be something, you know. But you know what? He ends up in a system behind Jerry Rice, and John Taylor, and Mike Sherrard, and those are tough guys to beat. So they put him on waivers, and Green Bay couldn't wait to get their hands on him, mostly because you don't have to teach him. Come right in. He knows Mike Holmgren's system. Right in. Just plug the guy in.
4 catches last week. And a big one here for a first down. 35-yard line. Play action. Good fake and a lot of time for Park. Going deep for Sharp. He's got it.
Oh, great catch, Tim.
Touchdown. Is he in the end zone or not?
Oh, he fumbled. That's a fumble.
He didn't know where he was. Now he's in. That's unbelievable.
Look at that smile.
He thought he was in the end zone. Now remember, there's snow all over these lines here.
You see that smile? He looked like the cat that got the bird standing right there.
65 yards for the score.
Sterling Sharp, the league's leading receiver for receptions and yardage, shows you how it's done. Get the step. The ball hangs a little bit. That allows the DB to come back. Nice catch. Look, turned around. He slows down. He knows where he's at.
Well, I don't think so. He's not in it yet. Here comes Jenkins.
That's great.
And knocks the ball loose. He had to pick it up again and take it into the end zone.
That's beautiful.
A funny finish to a touchdown play of 65 yards. Favre to Sterling Sharp. So the Packers, a 14-0 lead after recovering the ball at their 6.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours the very best of everything this holiday season.
You are watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.
And the best way to score and score fast, get the bomb. Now he's got Sterling Sharp right here, 84. He has his step on Ray Crockett. Now he thinks he's in the end zone. He's going to hand the ball to the official right here. See that? I think that's great. Knocks it out of his hand, makes sure he gets the touchdown.
He never saw Jenkins behind him either, but of course he thought, you know, the play was over. Jenkins knew where he was. Jenkins gave him a shot, and Sharp was very lucky the ball bounced right back to him, or that might have been not a touchdown. Of course, it would have been right at the goal line, but nonetheless, could have been a horrible miscue.
Yeah, on the other hand, that was a great job by Jenkins of being in complete aware of what was going on, went over there, knocked the ball out of his hand.
Jackie's kickoff. Again, they want to keep it away from Milw, and they bring it down at the 11-yard line. Kevin Scott, and he gets to the 16. A flag flies there. The respect around the league for Milw leads to a lot of short kickoffs.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to get the ball in that man's hands.
Detroit penalized, and they had a 5-yard penalty on the point after play, giving Jackie the chance to kick it off from the 40, and now they pick up a second consecutive penalty on the return.
You know, this is not a position.
Number 21 on the return, half the distance, first down.
Barry Colin. And we'll be back here with 2:13 to go in the first quarter. This way to County Stadium, the third home game the Packers have played here this year, and they're 2-0, looking for number 3, and in fact their 4th victory in a row. Here at County Stadium, a baseball stadium, because of the configuration, both teams have their benches on the same side of the field, and that leads to all kinds of fun stuff, some of which we will recount to you as we go along. First down on the penalty against the Lions. They're starting from their 5. And Pete runs it out of there and slides this time short of the first down. And you can see the linebacker Kuntz helping the officials with where the spot should be, where the ball ends up and not the sliding quarterback's toes. Good call, George.
Yeah, we get a lot of those point drills going on today. Everybody will start pointing to where that mark in the snow is, and that will be your defining move. There's that line right there. Now, you know, when you get into a fight when you're a kid, you say, hey, you draw a line, say, cross that line. There it is. Everybody's been waiting for that's it, right down that 50-yard line.
The 2nd and 3. Lions down 14-0 here, approaching the end of the first quarter. Pete. And with a little pressure on him, try to get it out to the tight end, McLemore, number 82, but is short with the ball.
I'll tell you what, you got more than pressure right there, Tim. Green Bay Packer defense just had great coverage right there. And that's 2 great coverages in a row. The first time it forced Pete to run. The second time it forced him to throw a bad pass. And that gives you a 3rd and short. And that's a situation where the Green Bay would like to have them after that big first down.
Well, they have a 3rd and 4. Robert Brown, the right defensive end for the Packers, exhorting the crowd down there on the, what is the third base side during baseball season, to raise a little ruckus, make it more difficult for the Lions to call signals. Pete can't find a man, stops the runner, and he is dropped.
Great coverage.
Kuntz, the linebacker, and right behind him, Tony Bennett. Detroit will have to punt.
3 downs, 3 great jobs of coverage. Watch the matchup down below here on Moore. That's where he wants right away. You got Buckley on him all the way. There. Now he has nowhere to go. See this right here. Boom. Beautiful coverage. Nowhere to go. That allows the pressure to show up. sack. 3 downs, 3 great jobs of coverage, Tim.
Jim Arnold's first punt standing in the Detroit end zone. The Lions bounce will bring it out to about the 49-yard line of Detroit, but still good field position for the leading Packers. Mike Holmgren, 6-6 in his rookie season as a head coach anywhere for that matter, and has certainly been doing a great job.
You see these 4 guys here? 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm going to give a coach of the year, I'm giving these top 4 guys my coach of the year, and all for different reasons. Dennis Green, you know, he had talent, but he had to change an attitude. Bill Cowher had to convince himself that he was a coach before he could convince his team. Bobby Ross has the terrible start and really has them going. And Mike Holmgren probably had the toughest job coming into the season. He had fewer players, and he had to change an attitude, and you know what? He's been able to do it.
Well, and they haven't been afraid to make personnel changes once the season began. Here's a little Statue of Liberty type draw, and that is Sidney, close to a first down, Green Bay.
You look at a play like that and you go, what? You know, that doesn't do anything, but I'm going to tell you what, it really does. You see what happens when you're rushing the passer, you're watching the quarterback. Now he goes past the back. That tells you that it's pure pass. See, now he comes around, slips it in. You've already made your determination to rush the passer, number 1, and number 2, as a backer, you've already made your determination to drop back in coverage. So I like that play.
A good one indeed. Spielman made the tackle ultimately, and it is a first down. Harry Sidney, the veteran, also picked up from the San Francisco 49ers, familiar with Holmgren's system. Zeros are up, and we've reached the end of the first quarter with the score Green Bay 14 and Detroit nothing. County Stadium, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, snowy skies, temperatures in the 20s. Tim Ryan and Matt Millen, where the Green Bay Packers begin the second quarter with a 14-0 lead over the Lions. And one exciting touchdown for sure. A 64-yard bomb to Sterling Sharp, who thought he was at the back line of the end zone and nearly coughed it up. But wound up with the score. And the Packers are in Lions territory again, having stopped them deep in the Lions' end. Favre for Sidney. Nice catch. And Sidney hit immediately by Spielman, but a gain of 8 to the 31-yard line.
So 2 nice consecutive plays by Harry Sidney. Now, what does Harry Sidney mean to this offense? When you talk to all the running backs, they say, heck, he's my coach out there on the field. When you talk to the linemen, they say, hey, he tells me where we're going. He knows all the calls. This guy, Mike Holmgren, brought in from San Francisco, and much like Ron Lewis, he got caught behind Rathman and Ricky Waters and all the backs out there, but he knows the system, and he knows how to play the game of football.
Brett Favre is now 6 of 6. Blustery conditions in Milwaukee. Sterling Sharp on the end around. A dangerous runner at any time, and he has more than a first down to the 16-yard line of Detroit. For an NFL update, let's go to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Tim, at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Randall Cunningham from a yard out on 3rd and goal puts the Eagles on the board, and they take a 7-3 lead over the Minnesota Vikings in the final seconds of the first quarter, Tim.
Well, a big game for both teams there. We'll keep track of that. Thank you, Greg. And a lot of interest here, of course, in the Midwest, depending on what happens to Minnesota today.
And I spoke with Chris Spielman before the game. Now, the last time these 2 teams met, I said the one thing I didn't like, Chris, is everybody kind of was down. Nobody got into the game. I said, you got to change that down there. He said, yeah, that was one of our big problems. We can't let it happen today.
Favre slips, recovers, and his first incompletion.
But a good incompletion. That was a very good job. In effect, he just threw that ball away, Tim. Got into some trouble. Instead of taking the loss, he got the pass off and made sure it was in the ground. Good job by Brett Favre.
It'll leave them 2nd and 10. They're at the 17-yard line of the Lions, and Detroit sends in 4 new substitutes on this 2nd and long situation inside the red zone.
Now, in case you're wondering about that field and the condition of it, I was down on it before the game, and it's not in bad shape. Now, as the game wears on, you get a little bit more snow down there. Maybe it's going to get a little looser, but right now, your footing is pretty good.
Bourche and Owens in defensively on the front. Kevin Scott into the secondary for Detroit. Sidney breaks the first tackle, gets inside the 10. Ran right through Robert Forshea. Jamison and Spielman, the linebackers, finally got him.
You know, and we asked Mike Holmgren the strength of this offense, and he says, look, our offensive line has just been playing really. Watch the great block there by Winters and Rutgers. See this right here? Open that whole lane. I mean, anybody can run through there, even me. And he gets down there, picks up the nice yardage. That offensive line has been doing better and better each week, and really, they're finally also getting a grasp of what this offense is all about.
And they're without their starting guard, Rich Moran, gone with injured reserve. Frank Winters, number 52, is the left guard there. Of course, they lost Tony Mandrake before the season began. Play action again, and Sidney gets away from the corner, and touchdown.
Brett Favre is holding that shoulder and arm.
He took a hit after the play. William White had the chance to stop Sidney, couldn't do it. And the Packers are threatening to turn it into a rout.
Beautiful job, right, by Harry Sidney. Shows the patience, makes the defender make his move first, gets into the end zone. Now, this is something you just can't teach when you're a running back, you know, and it's patience as the play unfolds. And you're going to see it right here. See, here's the ball. Now, let the defender make moves. See that? He comes up, lets him go by, turn back inside. Cannot teach it. It's called instinct.
Jackie for the point after. At a 21-0 lead with still 12:29 to go in the first half.
Christmas is about families. And so is this computer, the Tandy 2500 RSX from Radio Shack. For the incredible price of $799.95, you get a 386SX 25 megahertz processor with 24 built-in programs for budgeting, word processing, and home education, with the power to run PC-compatible software, made in America by American families. Christmas, families, and the Tandy 2500 RSX, they go together. From Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
Well, Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers off to a great start here early in the second, up 21-0. 7 of 8 passing. Favre, 129 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Sterling Sharp adding a little romance to his touchdown before getting it into the end zone. And you can see Green Bay, 208 total yards. Now, Favre was injured after he passed to Sidney. He was hit by Jamison, the linebacker for Detroit, and that is Don Mikowski getting ready to come in on the next series. Now remember, Favre with an injured left shoulder already. He's been playing hurt for the last 3 games. This time took a shot on it. Short, high kickoff from Jackie. Kevin Scott only gets a couple at the 27-yard line of Detroit. Stopped there by Marcus Wilson.
And that touchdown, that is what gives Woody Wittenhofer, the defensive coordinator, fits. And you're going to see why. See, right here, everybody's covered. They try the waggle. You're going to get Harry Sidney out. The safety comes up beautifully. See, everything is covered perfectly. All he has to do right here is make the tackle. Now, what he does, misses the tackle, allows him to get into the end zone. Now, what caused the hit on the shoulder injury, rather, on Brett Favre's right here. Watch Jameson duck underneath Sid. Boom, right there. See that?
Well, meanwhile, on the other side of the quarterback situation, Andre Ware has come in to replace Rodney Peete. This is not a surprise, especially with the score the way it is. But Wayne Fonts wanted to get him into the game, and he certainly has the opportunity. And on his first play, Ware trying to escape, and does. Lines up with a gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Andre Ware, the third-year man from the University of Houston, #1 pick in 1990, Heisman Trophy winner, has been a disappointment. And mainly he's been a disappointment in practice because he has not had a great chance to show his wares in games, pardon the pun. But they feel obviously that here's a guy they've got to give him a chance. He deserves the opportunity. And his chance comes now down 21-0. I'm not sure how much of a chance that is.
Yeah, that's not the position you want to be in. But you know what? You got to make the most of what you're given. And he's going to face this right now like it's nothing to nothing. He's going to make something happen.
2nd down and 7. They gave him 3 yards on his scramble. Loose ball. They got covered by Green Bay. Lester Archambault, number 74.
Well, it squirted away from him, and Ware got it back.
Yeah, it is Ware winding up with it. I thought Archambault still had it.
Keep in mind, that's the 3rd fumbled snap that we've seen. 2 with Rodney Peete, and now with Andre Ware, another one.
Leonard Burton, number 68, as the center, replacing Blake Miller, who replaced the injured Kevin Glover. The stories of injuries to Lions just continues all season long. Burton, a 7-year veteran out of South Carolina, picked up as a free agent from Cleveland, was actually in the camp of Detroit this year. Their training camp was cut and then re-signed.
You know, in the first 2 fumbles to Pete, I didn't see him do anything wrong. He didn't pull out quick. He didn't get the ball short. Everything was in Pete's hands, and he dropped them. I don't know what happened there with Ware, but it appears that Burton's doing his job.
We have a 3rd and 9. Ware runs out of time to sack the ball loose. That's picked up by Bennett. Touchdown. It was Matt Brock who made the hit on Ware, and that good athletic linebacker Tony Bennett picked up the loose ball and saw nothing but end zone.
Matt Brock just comes with a big power move right over the guard. Look at that right there. He's going to beat Lynn. Runs right by him. Nice hit. Strips the ball. Bennett has the presence to pick it up and get it into the end zone. That's his first NFL score.
18 yards. The touchdown run by Bennett after the fumble by Ware on a hit by Brock. And the route is now official. 10:54 still to go, as Tony Bennett has now made it 28-0. You're looking at Brett Favre on the sideline. Injury to his left wrist is the report, and he could come back in. We'll see. Of course, they now have another defensive series before the Packers will have the ball again. Mikowski was warming up, preparing to come in for him. There's John Mikowski.
I'll tell you what, Brett Favre was one tough guy, and I can't imagine that wrist would have to be falling off for him to not go back. This is a guy who got in an automobile accident, had part of his intestines taken out, and a month later was playing in a football game.
Well, you can't say he has no guts despite that injury.
Then I'm done.
Mel Gray handles the ball for the first time, got to the 26-yard line. Stopped there by Dexter McNabb. Let's go to Greg Gumbel for an NFL update.
All right, Tim, seesaw battle in Philadelphia between the Vikings and the Eagles. Terry Allen from 3 yards out. The extra point puts the Vikings back on top of Philadelphia, 10-7 in the second quarter, Tim.
Thanks, Greg. That looks like it's going to be a dandy. We can't say the same here score-wise. 28-0 Green Bay. Now in the route mode. 10:46 to go in the first half. Andre Ware returns to the quarterback spot, replacing Rodney Peete. And Eric Kramer on the sidelines was warming up a little bit, but Wayne Fonts indicated that he would stay with Ware and give him as much playing time as possible. And I think if you're up 28-0 or down 28-0, this is a chance to lead in. Harriman in motion behind the ball. Barry Sanders behind Lomas Brown, and Sanders carries a couple of people and picks up 7 yards on the play.
Yeah, and when you're down 28 points, really, that effectively takes Barry Sanders out of the game, unless you're really committed. Now, we spoke with Lomas Brown last night, and he said the feeling of that offensive line and the offense in general was we want to get Barry Sanders his 1,000 yards today. It's a credit to Barry Sanders, who has been really doing better the last 6 games. As you can see right here, the first 6 games he was averaging 3.5 yards. The last 6 games, 4.6 yards per carry, but more importantly, they've been getting him the ball. When you're down 28 points, it's tough to get him the ball.
That's right. They badly would love to see him get it here today.
I would love to see him get it.
1,000-yard mark. Second down and 3. And they give it to Sanders again. Sanders gets all the way to the 45-yard line of the Lions. A first down, Detroit. Chuck Cecil made the tackle over there.
You know, if you took out a dictionary and you wrote reckless abandon, you tried to look down reckless abandon, that's whose picture would show up. This guy here has no regard for his body, and really now, in a time when all these injuries are prominent and being talked about, Tim, you know, Chuck Cecil will approach each game the same. He will go up and he'll try to smack you. He'll take care of himself. He will just have no regard for his body.
An interesting spelling of Barry's there, but nonetheless, he did do it on that play. First down, Detroit 44-yard line of the Lions. And Sanders gets a couple of more, leaving 2nd and 8. Word on Rodney Peete that he took a blow to the head. And Andre Ware coming in with the Lions down 21-0, and then giving up the fumble and the touchdown by Bennett to make it 28. Archambault and Kuntz made that last tackle on Sanders.
With Rodney? You know, and it was interesting because Rodney Peete, he had something to prove, not only to the team but to himself, that he could beat the injury, that he could come back, and he could make it happen consistently. And it just, this got to work on him now and really turn him down.
See him kind of blinking his eyes there, still trying to get things clear.
Get those cobwebs out.
Yeah, 2nd and 8, and Ware is flushed and is sacked. Bryce Pop, number 95. All the way back at the 33-yard line of Detroit. 3rd sack by the Pack in the first half.
And Bryce Pop, they went with that play action, and it looked like the waggle action, and Pop cut back underneath and was able to get to Ware and get the sack. And when we spoke last night with Lomas Brown, the outstanding offensive tackle for Detroit, he said the one thing we could not do is afford mistakes. And here you go. We got 3 penalties, fumbles. We lost 2 of them, been sacked, and more important, they've had a lot of pressure, and they've had trouble with the center exchange. You know, we can't afford to do that if we're going to win.
3rd and very long, back at the 32 for Ware. Slips. Gets some time now, trying to find an open man and overthrows Herman Moore. Butler had the coverage on Moore.
Well, you just can't say enough, Tim, about the tremendous coverage that Green Bay has had today. It's a credit to that whole defensive staff of the Green Bay Packers. He just had nowhere to. I'm sorry. He just had nowhere to throw the ball.
So Jim Arnold comes in, standing at the 18-yard line of the Lions. Buckley and Brooks are back. It's been a long, tough year for these Lions, coming off a playoff performance last year. Well documented their troubles, but it's sad to see. This is Buckley. Buckley says, block somebody over here and I'll take it the distance. Loose ball. Looked like Green Bay recovered. Lions say they have it. Let's wait and see. It's slippery out there, folks.
Terrell Buckley should worry less about where a block is coming from and doing a little dance. He should worry about getting the ball up the field, because that's exactly what can happen.
Lions ball. Now he has fumbled 6 punt catches this year. Now he can add a fumble on a punt return. Harry Colin made the reception of the fumble, the recovery for the Lions at the 32-yard line of Green Bay. So Detroit finally gets a break.
Yeah, it's almost like Terrell Buckley asked for this one. You know, he got out there and he makes the good move, gets back outside, and then he kind of gave that little bit of showboat, and you cannot do that in the National Football League. You know, the guy he'd like to emulate and copy really is Deion Sanders. And when he had an opportunity to do it and did it, they abused him.
Well, he got some boos from the partisan Packer fans who have not yet taken to this #1 pick, although he's got enormous talent. Ware on first down gets his first reception to Perriman, but a flag on the play. Brett Perriman gets about 7. Illegal procedure against Detroit.
That's tough.
Andre Ware, 6'2", 205. He's a big, strong young man.
2 men moving, and they did not reset prior to the snap. 5 yards, first down.
Referee Bob McElwee explaining that well.
The rule says you have to. You can motion, but you have to set before the ball snapped, and they did. Now, if you're Detroit Lion and you're the offensive coordinator, what you want to do, they've had great coverage on the defensive secondary of Green Bay, so we're going to go with the underneath short stuff, and that's what you got to do. And so give Ware a chance to get in some kind of rhythm.
So 1st and 15 now out at the 37-yard line of Green Bay. Sanders met by Pop, but just runs away from him and winds up with a gain of close to 10 yards.
Yeah,
Holland got him.
This is the exact reason why he's the best runner in football. See, he's dead to rights in the backfield here. Bryce Pop has the clear shot, but what Bryce Pop doesn't do, he stops and he hesitates, he doesn't follow through. See that? You don't let the running back make the move. You have to be definitive and go after him. And that's what Barry Sanders is right there. He's a definitive runner.
It leaves him a 2nd and 6. Sanders with 37 yards on 7 carries. He needs 66 today to reach the 1,000 mark. We still have 6:20 to go first half. Sanders again. He's got some running room. And Sanders appears to have the first down. We'll wait for the spot. Bennett and Cecil made the tackle.
In the National Football League, there are a few guys who are superstars, and they're great people on top of them. But, you know, this guy, he's almost too good to believe. I tell my kids, of which I have 4, I tell them, look, there's only a couple guys that you can cheer for in the National Football League because I know they're great people. Barry Sanders is at the top of the list.
No question. He is a remarkable young man, and it's always a pleasure just to see him and chat with him when we cover Lions games.
He's so unassuming.
Yeah.
He's so good. He's a great person. I just love the guy.
They have a first down, their best drive of this half, and Andre Ware takes a timeout. 5:28 to go here in the first half. Green Bay dominating 28-0.
This Magnavox portable CD player with pure digital sound is the best thing to take on vacation. Unless you compare it with this clever Magnavox 5-inch TV. Great pictures anywhere. Of course, the best is this compact yet intelligent Magnavox camcorder with autofocus. Unless you take this Magnavox 3-inch LCD TV, which connects to my camcorder, so I can watch my vacation on the ride home. Looks as though I had a pretty good time.
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
'Tis the season to be jolly.
'Tis also the season for a KFC holiday meal. A bucket of delicious chicken, mashed potatoes with gravy, coleslaw, hot biscuits, enough to feed 4 just $9.99. And when you buy a holiday meal, get a coupon book worth up to $75 on select Mattel toys at Toys R Us and other fine stores. The $9.99 holiday meal from KFC. And from Lake Edna, happy holidays!
Tim Ryan with Matt Millen in Milwaukee County Stadium, and they have their own version of a ground crew here.
Yeah, that's not the Zamboni. See, that's the manual one right there. See, they want to make sure that you're going to be able to see those yard lines so you don't do another Sterling Sharp end zone move. Now, knowing Sterling, he's going to probably tell us he practiced it like that.
Yes, I'm sure.
First down.
Lions in Green Bay territory at the 22-yard line. Again, loose ball again. Good recovery by Ware. Sanders wants to throw it. Sanders, as the receiver fell down, intended for Perriman. Didn't look like that ball was going to get to him anyway.
That's a good job by Terrell Buckley, is staying with his man the whole time. And he was aided right there by the fumbled snap. Now, there's no reason why a guy should be running out for a pass when the ball's fumbled. Terrell Buckley stays with him. There you go. Buckley, you know, he's got loads of talent. But what he's got to try to figure out and get straight in his mind, that he's here to play football. He's not here to dance. He's not here to do all those. He's just out there to cover. That's what he's getting paid for. And that's what he's got to do.
2nd and 10. Herman Moore. Roland Mitchell had the coverage, but it's a first down. Lions to the 10-yard line of Green Bay.
That was a good job right there by Andre Ware, being patient, waiting for the receiver to come across and hitting. They tell me Andre Ware has loads of talent. A big, strong arm, really sometimes too strong of an arm. He wants to prove to people that he can throw it, so he throws that big ego ball. You know, the ball comes flying out at you just to prove that he can do it.
Well, Andre Ware, a huge investment for the Lions, and you got to believe that they feel they've either got to prove he can play or that he can't play. And they can think about who number 1 should continue to be next year, whether number 1 should continue to be Rodney Peete. Ware for the end zone, Moore, and he caught it, but he's out of bounds, or is he in? Touchdown! Herman Moore very near the end line. A flag is down back behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that looks like it's coming back. Oh, no, he called the 6.
Good. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 36 defense. That foul will be assessed on the kickoff. Going to the head. Going to the head.
Yeah, they got Leroy Butler coming on the blitz. Now, they're not shy about being aggressive. Oh, boy, that's like premeditated murder right there. He got more. He beats Buckley. One of the things they told us that Terrell Buckley doesn't do well, see, he's a little guy, and he doesn't quite yet get his hands on the receiver. They just throw him out of the way, like you watched the great job Herman Moore did on him right there.
Moore using his size, height, and weight against Buckley on the play. Evidently came down with both the feet in bounds near the end line. That was a close call. 5 plays, 32 yards, an 11-yard touchdown pass. Ware to Herman Moore. And Jason Hansen with a point after. The Lions on the board. Butler with a high hit.
A look behind the scenes as sports and science converge. Brought to you by AT&T. Football training camp may hardly seem like a place for innovation, but the Denver Broncos now use a unique exercise to improve speed. Small parachutes create drag during sprint and cutting drills. Because the resistance occurs while the athlete is running at full speed in a normal running stance, many Broncos have increased their speed and explosiveness with this new method.
Hey, look, I'm all in favor of hitting the quarterback when he's in the pocket, but you got to hit him right? This is a clear example of what you should get ejected from the football game for. He has the hit. Man, he just hit the diving board and jumped right in his face. Now, to me, that's flagrant. That is premeditated. There's no need for that. He's a good football player, and he does not have to do that.
That's Leroy Butler, and not something he's known for.
No.
It's not a rep that he has, but maybe he remembered some old college slight of Andre Ware's. Who knows?
You don't like to see that. There's no place for that.
Jason Hansen will be kicking it off from the 50-yard line as a result of the penalty assessed against Butler on that touchdown play. And again, angling is a short one taken by Corey Harris. And Harris, a good return out to the 31-yard line. Mike Holmgren very pleased with his play on special teams. Tracy Scroggins made the tackle. Well, next Sunday on CBS, doubleheader action. We'll have the 49ers at Minnesota, and that, of course, has playoff implications. And game 2, Dallas at Washington. Always a great rivalry. The Redskins trying to stay alive in the playoff hunt. Cowboys trying to prove they can beat the big guys.
Yeah, it's interesting. You got San Francisco there at Minnesota. I spoke with Steve Young this week, and much has been made about the big to-do over Joe Montana coming back or whether he couldn't come back. You know what Steve told me? He says, I don't care if they bring Joe Montana back. Whatever will make this team the better team, that's what we should do.
Yeah, great attitude by him. Favre is back out there following his wrist injury, and he is complete to Sanjay Beach, and Beach has a first down. So Don Mikowski was ready to come in, and with the length of time for Favre to recover from the sore wrist, he says, I'm going back out there.
Well, you know, we said at the beginning of the game that he has exceeded expectations, everyone's expectations except himself. This man has great confidence. And you know what? The more success he has with his offense and the more familiar he becomes with the guys around him, he's just going to get better and better and better. And I think this guy is a quarterback that's going to be for around a long time and have the numbers to show that he's one of the better ones.
Just 23 years old. First full season. Darrell Thompson, a lot of running room. Thompson running well today as a first down inside the 40 of Detroit. Benny Blades made the tackle.
And Tim, you said it right. A lot of running room. And you know why? He's getting some great blocks. Watch up front. See this right here? Watch the guards in the center. They're just going to fire in. Take care of that. Let the linebacker go by him. Make your cut right there. Beautiful. That's a great job by the offense. Everybody's staying on their man, letting Thompson do his instinctive work.
49 yards on 8 carries for Darrell Thompson.
But they're killing him on first downs, Tim.
Inside the 40 this time. Sidney, the lone setback. Thompson up on the wing. Short, quick drop. Sterling Sharp breaks his first tackle and winds up with another first down, or very close to it. Got away from Spielman, a tough guy to get away from.
Yeah, but you saw 2 great examples right there. First of all, Brett Favre saw something that he liked and took advantage of it. And that is the zone that laid off of Sterling Sharp. Okay, number 1, he got the good audible. Number 2, gets the ball into his hands, Sterling Sharp's hands, and let Sharp do what he does best, and that's run with the ball after the catch.
Just short of the first down, they spot the ball, so it's 2nd and 1 at the 30-yard line of Detroit. Sharp, the league's leading receiver, has 2 catches today for 74 yards and a touchdown. Thompson, this time dropped behind the line. It is William White, number 35, slicing in to make the tackle for the loss.
And that's a great job by that defense of stringing it out and letting the man come up out of the secondary. When we talked to Woody Wittenhofer, defensive coordinator, he said the strength of this defense is their secondary.
We've reached the 2-minute warning here and a 28-7 Green Bay lead. Tim Ryan and Matt Millen in Milwaukee, where the Green Bay Packers are doing a number on the Lions, 28-7. We've got 2 minutes to go, and then coming up from New York, the NFL Today halftime report. Greg and Terry will have all the scores and highlights, plus an update from baseball's winter meetings. So lots ahead at halftime. This is Milwaukee, which means it's Packer territory, but the Bears are never far from their thoughts.
Yeah,
that's great. 3rd down at 5. Sterling Sharp. First down to the 20-yard line.
And guess what Sterling Sharp was in that play? Lined up in the backfield. Another little wrinkle. That way, so you can't account for him. You have to have your safety or your corner, who's ever going to be covering him, behind the line of scrimmage, and that allows Sterling to be able to get out and get into the pass lanes a lot easier. But you're going to see Sterling Sharp right here, see? He's lined up as a running back. Now, what that does, that either puts a linebacker on him, or your safety or corner has to be able to hide behind the line. That opens up that whole passing lane for Sterling Sharp.
You could see Jamison there in the middle appeared to be confused. He did not make a quick reaction. Thompson finds the corner and picks up 6 more.
That was kind of a slow developing sweep there. It looked like it was stuffed, and all of a sudden he got to that corner and was able to pick up a few more yards.
Spielman made the tackle out there, but it is 2nd down and 5 at the 15-yard line of Detroit. In fact, spotted at the 14.
Well, this defense, the strength right now of the Detroit Lion defense, as I said earlier, is their secondary. Now, they have Jerry Ball out of there. That clearly hurts them, and that makes this man here, Chris Spielman's role, increase even more.
Thompson with that carry up to 52 yards on 10 carries. Here he is again. And Thompson gets another 5, maybe 6 on the play, and a first down. And goal, Green Bay with 1:03 to go in the first half, and a timeout called by the Pack. We'll be back at County Stadium in Milwaukee in just a moment. We are back at County Stadium, 28-7. You're looking at Mike Holmgren, his rookie year as a head coach. Wayne Fonts, who has had better times, certainly last year. And as the critics start to surface in Detroit, Fonts says, well, I was a hero last year. I'll be a hero again next year. I won't promise 13 victories again, but we'll certainly be a better team. And I, for one, and I think there are many others who believe that they will be. They just need to get healthy and start over again next year.
Yeah, you see that right there. Green Bay, 265 yards. See that offensive line? They're the reason. They're providing enough time in the passing game, and they're just getting on people and letting Thompson pick his yards for the running game.
1st and goal, Green Bay. Sharp, touchdown. Sterling Sharp with his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 33rd career 6-pointer over Ray Crockett. Perfect strike from Favre on the fade.
And he's on Ray Kroc right here. See this matchup? That's beautiful. Now you're man-to-man. I'm going to take you inside because I know the ball is being delivered outside. Ball could not have been thrown better. Outside shoulder, 6 points. Boy, he knows it. That ball was beautiful.
He was headed to the bench, ready for the 6. Jackie for the point after. And with 57 seconds still to play in the first half, it is now a 35-7 lead. Well, we're still here at Milwaukee County Stadium with 57 seconds left to play. Tim Ryan and Matt Millen, and there is Mike Holmgren.
You know what I like about Sterling Sharp? See, it's a cold game right now. See, guy has nothing on his arms, just has a T-shirt underneath, had his socks pulled down pregame, just out there prancing around. Says, hey, I've been here before. I know what this is about. He said, if we're going to go out there and score some points, it won't be that cold. So I have a feeling he's pretty warm right now.
Does that hat say Hat Squad? Hopefully he'll turn around here. He has a hat collection, Sterling Sharp. A little hobby of his. He collects baseball hats from everywhere of all kinds. And usually has a few on the sidelines. Tries to mix it up, wears something different. And you know what's a shame about Sterling Sharp? And there's very little to say there's a shame about, but he's taken to not talking to the local media in Green Bay, something that goes back to his rookie year. And he is such a delightful guy.
Great personality.
Yeah, he's got lots to say, and it's a shame. Hopefully he's going to change that attitude.
What a bigger shame than that was in a recent poll by Sports Illustrated, they ranked Sterling Sharp as the number 6th receiver in the league. And that just amazes me because I'd like to see the first 5.
Another short kickoff, and it's Ed Tillison, the running back for the Lions, just activated today, returning it to midfield.
Flag is down.
Flag on the plate. Dexter McNabb made the tackle.
There's a flag on the plate.
McElwee will give us the word on that return.
Well, we're going to get another shot at it.
Offside, number 51 on the kicking team. That penalty will be declined.
That's right.
First down.
Ed Tillison, a 255-pound running back from Northwest Missouri State. And he was activated today. The Lions releasing Troy Stratford earlier in the week to make room for Tillison, who had been on injured reserve, getting a shot today. You don't get to play too much when there's only one running back in the offense, and his name is Barry Sanders. First down, Lions at midfield. There slips but takes off. And dives for close to a first down. Be just short, it would appear.
It almost looked like a quarterback draw.
Alfred Oglesby made the tackle. 37 seconds and counting down. And, of course, the Lions in their hurry up here. He's got a man open. That's Sanders out of the backfield. Sanders puts a move on Holland and gets to the 28-yard line of Green Bay, but a flag down in the Lions' backfield.
Offensive holding.
Green Bay has already scored more points in this first half.
Offense. 10 yards, second down.
Than in any game this year. So the Lions are now back at midfield again, where this return by Tillison.
That man right there is having a big day along with Sterling Sharp. But more important, this Packer defense has been having a big day. Now, what Andre Ware did in that last series, he was able to work the underneath game against that Packer defense and move the ball, and they came up with a score. That's what he's got to get back to right now.
Herman Moore hit by Roland Mitchell immediately after a gain of about 5. They're going to give him 6 on the forward progress. 10 seconds left with the Lions timeout.
So you like him to see you work the underneath, Tim, but you got to see him work the sideline underneath, Tim. He's got to be able to get out of bounds right away. Moore wasn't able to and took off some time there. That's Dan Henning, the offensive coordinator, to the right. To the left is Wayne Fonz with Andre Ware. Now this Green Bay Packer defense today been having some great calls, and this man right here, right behind that post, that's defensive coordinator Ray Rhodes. And he has just had an outstanding year. So they're putting the clock back to 12 seconds. But he's just had an outstanding year. And, you know, he's told me that the biggest thing for him is he's had to learn how to be a coordinator as opposed to being an assistant coach. So when he was an assistant coach, there could come a call and he'd say, what the heck are they making that call now? So now he's the guy they're playing.
He'd be talking to himself if he did that now, right? Yeah, that's interesting. And he has done a good job because, let's face it, they still need some more personnel on this Green Bay Packer defense than the guys that are there. I'm sure they'll be looking to help themselves up front next year for sure. Maybe another linebacker. He's pretty happy with the secondary, which has been playing well. And He's done a fine job. 3rd down and a long 5. Andre Ware hits Brett Perriman. He has a 1st down, gets out of bounds, 6 seconds left.
Nice job by Perriman, making the catch and getting out of bounds to stop that clock.
Perriman has got a pass in every game since joining the Lions from New Orleans. And a very valuable receiver to them. Into this game, Perriman with 53 catches.
He's getting a little bit more time right now. I'll tell you, this man right here, Lomas Brown, who admits to me last night that he doesn't think he's having as good a year as he did last year when he went to the Pro Bowl, and there are a number of reasons, but he thinks these last 4 games he can prove what kind of a player he is. But I'll tell you, in my book, he doesn't have to prove anything. I put Lomas Brown as one of the top tackles in the National Football League.
The only guy from last year's line to make it all the way through the season so far. That's Moore, and Moore is just short of the 1st down, but he had to step out to stop the clock. 2 seconds left. They've got one more play. They're at the 27-yard line of Green Bay.
That'll be a kick. Jason Hansen coming in. Be about a 44-yard kick for Hansen.
Hansen picking his spot there for Jim Arnold at the just outside the 34-yard line, finding some turfy likes. It'll be a 44-yard attempt officially. Hansen is 14 of 18 this season with a long of 52. And he's got that. This youngster, the rookie, is an outstanding young kicker. Penalty against Green Bay is declined by the Lions. And at the end of the 1st half, the score, Green Bay 35, Detroit 10.
CBS sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the Heartbeat of America, Chevrolet, and your local Chevy dealer. DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. DeskJet printers make it happen. And by Payne Weber, we believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships.
Since its inception in 1919, the Green Bay Packers have been owned by the community. And they're the only publicly owned professional sports franchise in the NFL. The Packers have brought 11 championships and 2 Super Bowl victories to Green Bay. I'm Matt Brock, defensive end for the Packers, and I'm proud to be part of the Packer tradition. But the Packers are just one of the teams that I belong to here in Green Bay. I'm also a member of the United Way team, and today its board of local volunteers from all walks of life work without pay to ensure that the 25 agencies and nearly 50 programs provide vital services to people in need here in Green Bay. Contributors know that their contributions reach people in need. That's why my wife Jill and I became involved as United Way volunteers. If you care about helping people, then you want to give to the United Way. And now more than ever, your local United Way, helping where help is needed most. Right?
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Do we want to get robbed?
Challenge the Rock with Larry McCarran. Wednesday on Eyewitness News at 10.
Hi, I'm Terrell Buckner, and the buck stops here at your hometown proud Shearway store. For everyday low prices and selection, do what I do. Shop at Shearway.
Counties for 100. What is Illinois?
Television 500.
There is the Daily Double. Time now for Double Jeopardy.
For 200.
More specific, Final Jeopardy.
Seen any exciting television lately? Take the Jeopardy Challenge.
Jeopardy, weekdays at 4:30 on Channel 5.
The NFL Today Dockers Halftime Report is sponsored by Levi's Dockers. Nobody does color like Dockers.
And those of you who have been watching the action in Milwaukee and Philadelphia, we welcome you back to our studios here in New York. Greg Gumbel along with Terry Bradshaw. Let's run down the scores and the highlights for you. Beginning at the game at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Seesaw game, the Eagles leading at the break over the Vikings 14-10. Randall Cunningham, pretty good job of running the football so far in the first half. 71 yards on the afternoon so far. It led to a one-yard touchdown plunge by Cunningham.
Nice job, Randall. The last time these two teams got together, Greg, don't forget, Cunningham had 90 yards rushing.
In fact, they've been doing quite a job on the ground. Heath Sherman from a yard out put the Eagles back on top. It's a 4-point lead for Philadelphia at 14-10. If you were with us in the pregame show, you saw Mr. Prognosticator here predict something that actually came to pass.
Isn't it amazing, Greg? Hey, folks, we said that Tom Moore, the wide receiver coach of the Vikings, knew what Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, they coached together. They knew how to play against one another. We said that one of the things you had to look for this man, Anthony Carter, to go down in the slot and go hook and go, because Bud likes to take two safety. There's one. Another one is out here, Miano. This is Booty. Anthony Carter will come down, a little play action by Salisbury. And what he will do, Carter will see the inside technique. Notice the inside technique? There you have it. Carter leans in on Booty, goes back down to the middle of the field. Look at this, Miano to the outside. You beat the guy to the inside. There's no way that the outside receiver can stop that reception, because you have the entire middle of the field. The slot guy, right off the bat, first third down, first guy out of the box, down the middle of the field. You'll see that again. That was a 41-yarder.
All right, Terry, Minnesota needs a victory or a Green Bay loss in order to make the playoffs today. Doesn't look like it's going to happen in Milwaukee. The Packers are leading the Detroit Lions 35-10. Strangest play of the season. Brett Favre play action to Sterling Sharp. Now, because of the snow, Sharp thinks he's over the end zone line. And no, he's not. And up comes Melvin Jenkins, knocks the ball out of his hand. Sharp picks it up, scores a touchdown. It's not the way you write it up, but something to smile about once you're into the end zone. Meanwhile, Andre Ware goes back, and this just shouldn't happen.
Well, we talked to Jim Finks earlier, and he said they would discipline players like this. This is Leroy Butler leaving his feet, a cheap shot to the head. Should have been ejected from the football game. No place for that stuff.
Favre comes back with a 9-yard touchdown pass to Sharp once again. It's a 35-10 lead for the Packers at halftime. Also at halftime at Three River Stadium, the Steelers leading Seattle 10-7. It's a 13-7 Cleveland lead over Cincinnati at halftime. That is at Cleveland Stadium. In Buffalo, the Jets playing an emotional first half. Their first game without Dennis Byrd. They're trailing the Bills 10-3. And at halftime in New England, the Indianapolis Colts leading the Patriots by a score of 6-0. We turn now to baseball, which is holding its annual winter meetings in Louisville, Kentucky. Our Jim Gray is covering the Hot Stove League beat and has the latest.
It is cold outside here in Louisville, but inside, many in baseball are steamed over the signing of Barry Bonds by the Giants' new ownership in San Francisco. CBS Sports has learned that Bonds will sign a 6-year, $45 million base contract. And with incentives, it could go over $50 million. All of this to an industry who has gathered to discuss their economic woes.
Definitely surprised, because these people said that part of their plan to make this team viable in San Francisco was to cut their payroll. And you know, if they are cutting it, this is a very funny way to start.
Are you stunned or astonished at the figure?
Well, yes, I think everyone is and should be. I don't know why people should be stunned. People were talking about offering pitchers 5-year contracts, and why shouldn't somebody like Barry Bonds get 6 or 7 or even 8 years?
To me, the state of confusion continues in baseball because of the fact that, you know, in one column, in one article, you're reading how much trouble baseball's in, and in the next column, people are signing for $25, $30 million, which I'm happy for them, don't misunderstand me, but it makes you wonder.
Well, the signing has put such issues as Marge Schott, the search for a new commissioner, and possible new labor negotiations totally in the background. As for Bonds, well, 'tis the season to be jolly. And he will be quite jolly when he arrives here in Louisville about 7:30 this evening, when he'll sign his contract and pick up his first check. That's the story from here in Louisville.
Ticket prices aren't going up in Frisco, are they?
Imagine
the
that.
NFL continues on CBS after this word from your local station.
4D.
This dog's going to be headed from this snow to Hawaii, I'm sure. He looks like a Pro Bowl receiver to me. The Frisbee champion here at Milwaukee County Stadium, where the Packers lead the Lions 35-7. His name could be Sterling Sharp. We'll be back with the second half action here. Green Bay in command when we return.
Hey, the NFL is back this Saturday on CBS with the Giants against the Cardinals. Then Sunday, a terrific doubleheader. Steve Young and the Niners battle the Vikings. Then Emmitt Smith, my guy, and the Cowboys face the Redskins. Saturday, Sunday, the NFL on CBS. What a life. I'm a big fan.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Subway, your holiday party headquarters. And by the card, the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Tim Ryan and Matt Millen beginning the second half of play here at Milwaukee County Stadium. The Packers with a commanding lead, a great performance by young quarterback Brett Favre in the first half, and 2 touchdowns by Sterling Sharp, the first of which provided a little extra entertainment at the end.
Well, he ends up getting matched up on Ray Crockett here. You'll see Sterling Sharp coming down and break. Now, once the ball is in the air, it hangs a little bit, and that allows Crockett to converge right here and catch up. Right here. Now, he makes the catch, gets his head up, looks downfield, and thinks he's in the end zone. He thinks this is the back of the end zone, so he's about to flip the ball to the official. Jenkins does a good job of coming back and making the tackle, and then Sterling in with that smile that says, boy, I got in anyway. The second one, when you have young linemen, you got Burton, 68 right there, Lynn, 72, Matt Brock just runs through the both of them, creates the fumble, and that makes Bennett have his first NFL touchdown.
Well, 2 of the highlights for the Pack. There were many of them in the first half. We mentioned the sterling performance by Brett Favre, in addition to the sterling performance by Sterling Sharp.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, Brett Favre.
Where is this guy? I want to see him today.
And Green Bay will kick it off, and Mel Gray hoping to get his hands on a ball. He's only had 1 so far. As like all the teams in the NFL, the Packers trying to keep it away from that dangerous return man. He'll get one here at the 19. And a good effort. A flag is thrown as Gray got to the 33-yard line.
Well, there's Mel Gray right there. Once the ball's in his hands, you don't know where he's going. See, and they caught Detroit. And they'll be bringing that back.
Illegal block in the back. Number 54 scoring the return.
Well, that is Chris Spielman. And so the good effort by Gray is negated. 278 total yards in the first half for the Packers, averaging 10.3 yards a play. That says an awful lot. And, of course, turnovers by Detroit, costly, 2 of them. 5 fumbles, losing 2 of those. Andre Ware will continue at quarterback. Rodney Peete started the game, if you joined us late. Down 21-0. He suffered a head injury, not serious. Andre Ware has been in since then. Ware gets some time and trying to hit Mike Farr, but Farr cannot hold on against tight coverage.
Nolan Mitchell with some great coverage on Farr right there. He ran with them all the way across. Now, the key to good pass defense, you can be in great position, but the good key is to make the play when it happens, and that's exactly what Roland Mitchell did. Ball was there. He had an opportunity to catch it. Knocked the ball down. Good play, Roland Mitchell. They've had great play out of the secondary here, into the second quarter and into the third quarter.
On 2nd and 10, Sanders. Sanders gets about 5 before he's steered out by Vinnie Clark, number 25.
Yeah, where he went was right behind that big man, Lomas Brown. Now, Lomas Brown is the one thing, the one steady that this offensive line has been able to do. Now, see, with Barry Sanders, you never know where the ball is going, so the key is to always stay on your man, and that's exactly what Brown did.
Sanders with 48 yards now on 9 carries.
There's big Lomas Brown. Last year when we were in Washington, he was the #1 tackle we picked for the Pro Bowl. We just thought he had an outstanding season.
What a pro he is, too. He has such a great attitude. Not complained at all about all of the problems along that offensive line. Ware in some difficulty. Archambault in pursuit. Rice popped, and Pop gets him out of bounds.
You know, and to follow up, one of the big things that Lomas Brown told us about Andre Ware is, see, he doesn't quite know how to read everything, so he has a tendency to take off and run, and that makes it tougher for an offensive lineman because you don't know where he's going to be.
Well, they will have to punt, and Andre Ware trying to make an impression here with the coaching staff. He'll probably get the start next week, barring injury. Brooks is back to receive, and that gets a rise from the crowd here because Buckley is normally the return man, and he's been replaced back there by Robert Brooks. Good punt by Arnold. Lands right at the 35-yard line, out of bounds. Green Bay, again, in good field position. They've had it the entire game. A 40-yard punt by Arnold into the wind. Brett Favre getting ready to come back on. Final instructions from Mike Holmgren.
There's he 11 of 12 for 180 yards. Now that one pass that was incomplete was calculated. You remember he went back, he slipped, and he threw it in the ground so that he'd avoid the sack and he wouldn't throw any kind of interception. So Favre just had a tremendous first half, and it's important for him to continue right on into the second half because he's still at that stage in his career, especially after last week's slow game, that he wants to be the best every time out there.
Playing with a sore shoulder and a sore wrist. Left side. First down. This is Thompson. Darrell Thompson has gone all the way running back today. Picks up 3, maybe 4.
Seattle on top of Pittsburgh, Tim, 14-10.
Stan Gelbaugh starting today at quarterback. Their problems continue. Cleveland, Cincinnati, that's a tough rivalry always.
10-10 in Buffalo.
Second down along 6 for the Pack. Early second half, 35-10 Green Bay lead. The victory today keeps them very much in the playoff picture. To Sharp. You won't see that happen too often. Dennis Gibson trying to dive to get the rebound.
Well, Green Bay came out and they said that it was important for them to start well and get off to a fast start. I don't think if you were going to script this that you could do it any better.
The only time they were started deep was following the fumble recovery. Otherwise, their field position has been excellent. They have taken advantage of it, using the shorter field. That plays right into the Holmgren style offense.
This man right here in third down is their #1 guy for this Green Bay Packer offense.
Brooks has come in as a third receiver, joining Lewis and Sharp. Favre flush gets away from the first man. It is complete. Yes, Robert Brooks diving back. For the first wobbly effort from Favre.
That's another good job by Brett Favre, showing some great patience and getting this 18-yard completion off. And here's the reason right here. See, now he sees the man open, puts a little bit of a touch on it. That allows Brooks to come back and get the first down. You know, the interesting thing there, this man here, who we just said is their #1 guy, he thinks this ball's for him, and he clearly didn't have a shot. Look how happy he is when Brooks comes up with the ball.
Brooks, the rookie from South Carolina. Of course, that's Sterling Sharp's alma mater. First down at the 43-yard line. Darrell Thompson. Thompson gets 4 inside the 40-yard line of Detroit. Spielman and Jamison there on the tackle.
Now what they're doing right now, they're just snapping that ball and letting the offensive line just man up on the defensive line of Detroit. And this man right here, Tootie Rabbit, he's got a lot of man to get on somebody. You know, most teams, as they go on, you know, they put on their winter coat. And I saw Tootie at the beginning of the season, and he had already had that winter coat put on to him. So I don't know what this coat is. He says he's 315 in this, but that, you know, he's more like 325. And I read in the paper today where he said that he wants to drop some weight as he gets older. The good thing is he's got a lot to drop.
He's been a real find for them. Loose ball, Sidney, and Favre have a little trouble with the exchange, and the Lions react well to that. 4 Lions putting the hit on Harry Sidney.
You know, what you saw right there, if you're a Detroit Lion, is, you know, this is a tough thing. See, the ball dropped on the ground, and it bounced right back up into Harry Sidney's hands. And that's just an indicator that when it rains, it pours. Everything's going against you.
Spindler, Spielman, Jamison all around the ball that time, and now in come the substitutes on the passing down, 3rd down and 8. Harry Sidney, known pretty much as kind of a lunch bucket journeyman type guy with the 49ers in recent Green Bay Press-Gazette article. They asked him who his favorite football player was, and he said, Joe Willie Namath. I like him because he's cocky and stylish. A bit of a shot. Third down. Favre, he's got Jackie Harris. He dropped the ball. Oh. Tight end Jackie Harris couldn't hold on.
Jackie Harris was one of the men that they think is really stepping up and having an opportunity to be a Pro Bowl guy. But I'll tell you what, he doesn't help himself right here. And it's a good job by the safety, forcing him out. Clearly open. That ball has got to be caught. Favre knew it when he threw it. It should have been a completion. Sometimes that happens.
Wagner's punt inside the 10-yard line. First punt of the day for Green Bay. And Mel Gray fair catches it just inside the 10, but there is a procedure penalty against the Packers. A 32-yard punt from Wagner.
Illegal formation, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, free kick.
Illegal formation, they called. It's Brian Wagner. And if you remember, in their season, McJulian, their punter, just was having just a horrendous year, so they brought Brian Wagner back in, and that's really helped them. Brian Wagner right there.
Standing now at the 40-yard line for this punt. Gray waiting for it at the 10. Gray lets it go. It came down at the 6, and the Packers trying to down it.
Oh, his body got in the end zone.
Bernell Dent, good effort on that slippery turf. Couldn't stay out of the end zone.
Hey, listen, if you guys are tired rushing, put a hand up and let's get people in there rushing the quarterback. We got to rush the quarterback relentlessly. Relentlessly, let's get after the and stop him. Let's go.
Well, Saturday on the NFL Today, we've got a microphone on the man who might well be the coaching rookie of the year, Pittsburgh's Bill Cowher. That's at 3:30 Eastern Time Saturday. And that game on Saturday will feature the New York Giants at Phoenix. 3:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today, so tune in. There's Saturday action. We look at Wayne Fonts all bundled up here in the cold. Temperatures in the 20s. And no doubt dropping now. The lights have come on at Milwaukee County Stadium. Play action fake by Ware. And the pass intended for Willie Green, number 86, incomplete. He had double coverage on him down there.
Very good job by that secondary again. I can't say enough today about this defensive secondary of the Green Bay Packers. Chuck Cecil just played the middle of that zone perfectly. They went with the play action. He held his ground. Ball was delivered. Gave him the double look that they need.
Second and 10. We note that the Jets have gone ahead of Buffalo now, Matt, 17-10 in their game. Buffalo rolling along without any lumps in the road for quite a while, and suddenly having some problems the last couple of weeks. Second and 10. Ware intended for Perriman, threw it in the dirt. Not a good throw. It'll be third down. Mitchell with the coverage.
What Andre Ware, one of the things he has to learn is to learn to get back and set up in the pocket. And what you're going to watch right here is his feet never get set. See, he's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting. Happy feet. See, right there, that's called happy feet. And what that does, it doesn't allow you to follow through, and it doesn't allow you to step at your receiver, and the ball will generally go into the dirt.
Third down and 10 for Ware. Running out of time. Eludes Pop. Now throws downfield and incomplete.
Oh, Buckley was lucky right there, Tim.
Sure was. Herman Moore, the intended receiver. I was looking for a flag. They might have called it uncatchable.
Well, Buckley's on Moore right here. The ball's in the air. He does look back. Okay. He looks back, but geez, that's interference. That's interference all the way. So another bullet is dodged.
Well, one thing we learned about Buckley there is he's got good vertical jumping ability.
And I don't think anybody ever questions his measurables, Tim.
Arnold standing at the 5-yard line. It's going to be Brooks returning again, waiting for it at the Green Bay 35, backed up to the 31. Good job by Robert Brooks inside the 50. Melvin Jenkins made the tackle. Green Bay again with good field position and a 35-10 lead. Tim Ryan and Matt Millen here at County Stadium in Milwaukee. 8:59 remains in the third quarter with Green Bay in good field position again.
Leonard Burton there with the towel over his head.
Lions unable to get anything going offensively. Thompson, first down. Darrell Thompson is having a fine afternoon.
And that was a great job right there of what you call stretching the defense, Tim. When they say what kind of runner is Darrell Thompson, you're going to watch him right here. See, he's an eye back, so they sit him deep. Now what they want you to do, they want you to stretch that defense. Now watch, see, everybody gets flowing. Now he'll wait. There's your opening right here. See, boom. He's got the eyes. Go through it. Nice job by Hallstrom on Spielman. Get upfield, make the yards.
75 yards on the day for Darrell Thompson, and still a lot of time to play. 14 carries. Pressure on Favre, and they get him this time. First sack of the day by the Lions. Pritchett with Jamison blitzing. Both arrive at the same time.
Yeah, and then Tracy Scroggins, the one guy who they know has speed in their pass rush, he gets up there and forces that whole thing. Tracy Scroggins, really a young guy. Talked to him last night. The first thing that comes out of his mouth when you talk to him is say, Trace, what kind of year? Boy, this is a long year. He said, a month ago I was tired, and we still have a month to go. So I asked him what will be the difference for next year. He said, I know what to expect. But what Detroit expects from him is a big career because the man has speed off the corner.
It leaves a 2nd and 17. Sidney out of the backfield. Got back about 8.
And I like that decision right there by Brett Favre. Are you 2nd and long? Do you try to get the whole thing? No. You just go and just take it, chip away, give yourself another down. 3rd and 11. Have a chance. It's better than 3rd and 17.
Extra receiver comes in now. Wayne Font says to himself, I'm sure, we got to stop him here. This is going to get really embarrassing. 3rd down. 11. 3 wide receivers in. Sanjay Beach has come in. Good hit from behind by Pritchett again with pressure. And the ball harmlessly away. At a punting situation, and Carr might have been hurt again on that play.
Yeah, he was holding it. And now watch Pritchett off the top, and this is what they got to have. You see him right here, number 94, and he's working on Tootie Robbins. Now they're just going to come up. He just gets the power rush. Once he's down, hey, Robbins lost his feet, gets in there. Good job by Pritchett of getting to the arm before the ball is thrown.
He's been one of their better defenders in the recent weeks, and has been one of their better pass rushers as well from among the down linemen. Wagner's punt, beautiful, out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Well, a quick look at the playoff picture as it stands now. The Niners and the Saints already in. New Orleans with their victory the other night. Dallas could be in the playoffs. They play later today. They need a victory of their own or a loss by the Eagles, Washington, or the Packers. Doesn't look like they'll get it from Green Bay. They could clinch the East with a victory and a loss by the Eagles. Minnesota can clinch the Central with a win of their own or a loss by Green Bay. And again, looks like they need their own victory. And the Eagles are leading the Vikings in that matchup 14-10 in the third quarter. First down, Lions inside their 5. Sanders. Sanders all the way to the 30-yard line with some brilliant running, breaking a couple of tackles en route.
He just showed you how to run there on wet plywood. Only he can do it. But look, we talked about the box. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in that box. Boxes from here to here. Now this play is designed to work inside. Watch the tight end. They're going to trap him. He sees it close. This is what the great runners do. They will take it wherever they can, and where he can take it is a big gain down the sideline.
And that put him over 1,026 yards for Sanders on that gain. 74 yards on the day. He needed 66. And for 4 consecutive years, he's gone over 1,000 yards his first 4 years in the NFL. Complete to Perriman from Andre Ware. A flag down and a first down for the Lions.
There's a flag down there on the play right there. Mitchell caught his face mask. It appeared. But this man right here, that is some very impressive company.
5 yards,
face mask penalty.
And look at this. You got Dorsett, who will be a Hall of Fame guy, Campbell, Hall of Fame, Dickerson, and you know what? See that Barry Sanders? Put that right there, because Barry Sanders, I tell you, I cannot say enough about Barry Sanders. Pure instinct, he's reaction, he's everything you want. He's the opposite of light beer from Milw. Everything you want, but more.
I think I get that. With the first down from the 45-yard line for the Lions. Sanders again, picking his way. Broke the first tackle, turned it into a 5-yard gain. Oglesby had him right at the line of scrimmage, but that's Sanders. Alfred Oglesby, the Packers pick him up from the Dolphins. Been on the beach for a little bit after being cut down there. Backing up John Yurkovich at the nose tackle.
And the reason he was made available was because of the play of Chuck Klingbeil. Now, they wanted Oglesby to be the man down there in Miami and just never materialized. But you look, cast off some places, a plus someplace else, and that's what happened here in Green Bay.
Well, that's what Ron Wolf, the new man in charge of personnel and drafting, et cetera, here in Green Bay. That's what he's good at. Ware fires a bullet downfield, overthrowing the intended receiver, Willie Green. No one disputes Ware's arm.
No.
But again, the experience is the real key, and he has not had that so far in his brief NFL career.
There's Vinnie Clark right there, but the man right in front of him, Chuck Cecil. Now, 3 times we've seen them try to hit that deep inside ball, and 3 times we've seen Chuck Cecil there. Now, I talked to the defensive coordinator, Ray Rhodes, about the guys in his defense. He says, look, there's 3 guys who I would take in an alley fight with me anytime. I got Bennett, I got Holland, and I got Chuck Cecil. I know they're going to be there with me.
Cecil gives you a great effort on every single play. Ware this time connects to Herman Moore, and a first down Lions to the 40-yard line. Buckley made the tackle there. And now for another NFL update. Let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Tim, at Philadelphia, Randall Cunningham has scored his 2nd touchdown of the day. From 1 yard out, he makes it into the end zone. It's now a 21-10 lead on the Vikings in the 3rd quarter. Back to Tim and Matt in Milwaukee.
Randall Cunningham cranking up the Eagles again after his little slump there. After the Eagles had jumped into a 4-0 start. He struggled a bit, but the last couple of weeks he's playing well again.
It's funny because I think the loss in San Francisco really was a big plus for him.
The Eagles are certainly still very much a contender. Loose ball, Sanders wisely just covers it on that slippery turf.
And that's been the only way Green Bay has been able to stop Barry Sanders today. Let him drop the ball and jump on it, then we quick tag him.
That's a loss of 3 for Sanders.
And you watch this right here. Now, this is all, he's got the ball all the way, but you know, you see his hands got in the way of the ball, and then it's just get on top of it. You know, I'll get it, don't let anybody else get it.
6th fumble today by the Lions. They have been costly fumbles, losing 3. 2nd down, 13. Well, let's call it 14, closer to 14. Straight drop for Ware, and he's got his man. Good pass, right on target to Perriman, but a flag on the play at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I see the flag is down, but I also see why they love Andre Ware's arm. That ball was right on the money, and that had some steam on it. Motion, Detroit. Andre Ware, they said, they talk about measurables. Well, they did not reset. They motioned, they had movement before the snap and didn't reset. Now you talk about measurables, and when they say that, the coaches are talking about, we can measure your vertical jump, we can measure your, we can time your speed, we can do all, but the things you cannot measure, those are what you're really looking for in football players. What you can't measure heart, you can't measure desire, you can't measure arm strength per se, and they have it.
Those are the intangibles that separate the greats from the ordinaries. Ware gets some time here, can't find a man. Running upfield and holds on to the ball as tried to strip it from behind. Rice popped. Tried to pop the ball loose, and Ware did a good job to hold on. Got it back to the original line of scrimmage.
That's an example of what Lomas Brown had said about Andre Ware earlier. Sometimes he doesn't see everything, and that will give him the happy feet, and he'll take off and run. And that makes it a little more difficult if you're an offensive lineman, because you just don't know where that quarterback is going to be.
Third down and 11 remains for Ware at the Green Bay 40-yard line. 2:12 to go, third quarter. Tillison now in the backfield. It's complete to Perriman. Wrapped up by Mitchell immediately and short of the first down. Got about 8 on the play.
Nice patience by Andre Ware. Now he read that perfectly. Nice zone. Wait for the receiver to break underneath the defender. Boom. Right on the money.
They'll go for it here. They need a long 3, fourth down. They're at the 33-yard line of Green Bay, down 35-10 with under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sellout crowd at County Stadium wanting the Packers defense to stuff the Lions here on this fourth down attempt. Intended for Perriman. Incomplete.
Nice job by Buckley batting that away, but I question that throw right there by Ware. You only have 3 yards. You want to see it get back underneath.
What'll it be, fellas?
Make it a Bud Light.
Sorry. This is the last one.
Well, I think I'll take that one.
What do you want to give? 4, and I'm a 2, and a 10, give me 10, a 20 big, give me 20 now, 30, give me 30 now, 40 big, give me 40 now, 50, give me 50 now, 60 big, give me 60 now, 70, give me 70 now, 80.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Bud Light, please.
Sorry, boys. This is the last one.
You are watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.
The Green Bay Packers trying to make it 4 wins in a row and get over the 500 mark, leading the Detroit Lions 35-10, and they have the ball at their own 32-yard line.
That's the reason right there, Brett Favre. He's been the man. Last week, Mike Holmgren said that Favre played like a rookie for the first time in the season. He played average. Said he had 2 good practices this week, and they were expecting a big game, and they have not been disappointed.
Harry Sidney rambles for about 6.
Sidney.
They think they've got the best quarterback in that 91 draft, and when you look at it, they're right. McGuire in Seattle has done nothing. Marinovich has had his chance, a good opportunity. Had to put him back on the bench. Browning Nagel, there's an opportunity with him. They've had to take him in and out, but still, he's got the big arm, and I think he'll be all right. But Brett Favre, clearly the best of that group.
Well, General Manager Ron Wolf, the personnel boss, says he was the best player in the entire draft when Atlanta took him number 33. He had that strong feeling about him even then. Thompson gets about 4. It'll leave third down and a couple over the 40-yard line of Green Bay. Favre is just like Chris Spielman of Detroit, is just an inbred football player. His dad's a high school coach. Somebody asked him, what he thinks he'll be doing in 20 years. He said, I'd like to go coach high school football back in my hometown. My daddy's been there for 25 years at the same school, and I'd like to go back and help him. I think his dad would be pleased to hear that. He's expecting he'll be there 20 years from now. End of the third quarter. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen in Milwaukee's County Stadium, where a sellout crowd enjoying what they've seen so far. The Green Bay Packers trying to get to 7-6, leading 35-10 over Detroit. Mike Holmgren in his rookie year as a coach, coming over from that great 49er organization, and has settled in with great maturity as a rookie.
I don't think there was any question. Those of us who knew Mike Holmgren and the people in the league who knew Mike Holmgren knew that this was a distinct possibility.
They have third down and a long 2 at the 40-yard line. Quickly out to Sterling Sharp. Loose ball. Lions have it. Ray Crockett put the hit on Sharp, who already had the yardage and was trying to take a little more. Crockett put a good lick on him. And the Lions come up with a football.
Well, sometimes that happens with a guy who is a great second effort player. Sterling Sharp is. We said that he's great after the catch, and a lot of that comes just from the great second effort. You're seeing second, third, and fourth effort right there for that ball. That's great. That's a WWF sanctioned meet right there.
Either that or an English rugby scrum.
I haven't seen the referee. Oh, now they're giving it to Detroit.
Yeah, the Lions appeared to me to have it right from the get-go. Here it is again.
Here you go. He's got him beat. Oh, that's a good job right there by Crockett, getting his shoulder on the ball. And now, here comes the scramble. Here comes the wrestling match. Chris Spielman walked out of that pile with the ball in his hand, and he knew it. Great effort, but sometimes that happens.
This guy just enjoys playing the game. I mean, he really has a joy for the game, and he can appreciate that. This isn't exactly rocket science or religion out there. He just loves to play it as hard as he can. He makes a mistake. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
First down. Sanders. Just tripped out by Chuck Cecil. Looks like he has the first down anyway. 11 yards for Sanders, and he was just reaching full speed when he got tripped up.
Boy, every time he gets the ball in his hands, I mean, I just get excited to watch him. And I think when you're playing a guy like him, now watch Chuck Cecil come up here and just run through it. That's a good job. Get your hands, just trips him up. When you're playing against a guy like Barry Sanders, and I think you saw it at the end where Chuck Cecil patted him on the rear end, good job. You're almost, it's an honor to play against a guy like that.
92 yards rushing for Sanders today. Here he is again. Loose ball, and it's caught in midair. Oh,
look at it. Somebody got a block from behind.
But Matt Brock, his second big play of the day, will return to Milwaukee County Stadium after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
Right guard Jack Lynn, the rookie who's in there today, makes the hit of the day for the Green Bay Packers. Now what happens is Sanders gets the ball. Now you're going to watch Lynn right here. See this man right here? Now watch his hip. What's going to happen? Sanders makes the cut. Boom. See? That got knocked out by his rear end. Brock picks it up. Runs the other way.
Went 34 yards with it. First down, Green Bay. This is Thompson. Thompson can't make the turn this time. Tracy Scroggins runs him down. Scroggins, the rookie from Tulsa, starting in Mike Cofer's spot. Cofer on injured reserve.
There's Matt Brock. Ball pops in the air. I mean, you can play football for years and years and years, and that never even happens in practice, and all of a sudden you look up and there it is. Now, but the impressive thing about him, there's the tackler, Jack Lynn. Of course, we're seeing the front side. We should be seeing the back side for the good tackle. The good thing about that is, as he was about to be tackled, he noticed it, and he covered it up with two hands. That's a smart job.
Good running back. Brock had made an earlier big play leading to the touchdown by Bennett. As Brock made the hit on Ware, and Bennett got the loose ball and ran it for a touchdown. 2nd down and 13. Favre is sliding in. He was already over the line of scrimmage. Well, here's how things look. Those teams on top are in the playoffs. San Francisco, Dallas, Minnesota. The Saints are in, but they're in that wild card picture. That's why we've got them grouped down below there. You see the Eagles, Washington, Green Bay. That's where the real battle is in the NFC.
Right. And the tough part is really going to be Washington and Philly. You can see they play each other next week, and that's going to be good. And Washington also has Dallas, who that's a tough game for them. And then they have the Raiders. Now, of course, they have the Giants today, which they never traditionally do not play well against. Green Bay and Houston and the Rams in Minnesota. So it's not going to be settled in this wild card deal till the last week of the season.
Packers took a timeout. We'll be back at County Stadium in a moment.
This game summary is sponsored by Kodak Photo CD System.
Some impressive numbers for Green Bay quarterback Brett Favre. 14 of 18, 208 yards, 3 touchdowns. And as you see, when they got their opportunities early, they made them all count. 4 touchdowns the first 4 times they had the ball. But 7 Detroit fumbles, leading to their problems today, and they lost 3 of those 7.
3rd and 8.
The Packers with a 3rd and 8 at the 35-yard line of Detroit. 12-12 remaining in regulation time. Rolling shot. Hit by Blades, and Blades did not let him get a yard more. And they word for each other.
They're yakking back and forth, and that's all pro and all pro right there. Benny Blades at that tackle shows you how it's done. It shows you how really an all-pro safety is supposed to play.
Sharp acknowledged it too. Again, that sheer joy of the game. You just have to love that Sharp. He's just so involved. Every play is fun for him. 4th down. Chris Jackie, 46-yarder. He'll tee it up at the 35-yard line, 36-yard line. So it's a 46-yard attempt. And it's good. Jackie is now 19 of 26 on the year. 2 outstanding field goal kickers in this game today.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by your Toyota dealer, who invites you to see the big new Toyota T100 pickup. McDonald's, what you want is what you get, guaranteed at McDonald's today. And by the new Bic Twin Select for normal and sensitive skin. There's a Bic for every beard.
Tim Ryan with Matt Millen as snow begins to fall again here at Milwaukee County Stadium. 11:20 to go in the 4th. Green Bay a commanding 38-10 lead following a 46-yard field goal by Chris Jackie. Back to receive the ever-dangerous Mel Gray. And Jackie will try to make him work for it. Comes down at the 32 and an instant hit on Kevin Scott.
Made the tackle.
Tim Houck making the tackle.
Tim Houck and Corey Harris right there. And hey, special teams is all about desire. Everybody runs fast, everybody's strong. Who gets down there first? This man, Corey Harris, they just absolutely rave about. You can see him. Houck makes a tackle. Harris right there on top of it. That ball is kicked. You can be sure Corey Harris is going to be around it.
He's been a terrific pickup. We got him on waivers from Houston this year, a former Vanderbilt star. Andre Ware continues at quarterback for the Lions at the 28-yard line, 1st down. Barry Sanders. And Sanders is horse-collared at the 40-yard line, and there is a flag there. Chuck Cecil may have gotten by the iron. We'll make it Buckley. Pardon me, number 27. Terrell Buckley.
We get Barry Sanders out there. Here it comes. He just got clearly right there and held on to it. That's a 15-yarder. You never Tim, you never want to do that as a defender. I know you've never, when a face mask is there, you're never intentionally getting your hand there. Sometimes it happens. What you try to do is let go of it as quick as you can. That time you didn't.
Well, and he got booed by this hometown crowd. Buckley has not won the favor of Green Bay fans, either here in Milwaukee or up in Green Bay itself. I think he will eventually, but he's in search of maturity, and he's going to pay for it in the kind of attitude that he's got back from the fans. Here's Sanders bursting through for a pickup at close to 15 down to the 31-yard line. Chuck Cecil made the tackle there. Well, we have a big doubleheader next week here on CBS, starting at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today. You'll be seeing the 49ers at Minnesota, followed by Dallas at Washington. Two key games. Who do you like, Matt?
Well, I'll take San Francisco in that Minnesota game. And unfortunately, Dallas just has Washington's number. Now, if you're a Washington Redskin fan, the one big positive is that you're starting to get those injured people back. The offensive line is coming back. So they have a chance, as good a chance as they're going to have all season.
Those are big games next week here on CBS. The playoff picture now coming into focus. That's complete. Down the middle to Herman Moore.
Well, I'll tell you what, Herman Moore just turned Terrell Buckley completely around. This is a match that they like going into it. Both sides like it because, hey, they're both going to be excellent. Now watch this. See the move? Turns them completely around. Ball wide open on the money. First down. What Terrell Buckley really has to do, and what he admitted to us last night, he's got to work on concentration. Every down concentration has got to be consistent, and that's common for a young player.
7 catches for Herman Moore, 107 yards. Barry Sanders has 104 yards rushing, his 5th 100-yard day. Intercepted by Buckley, his first of the season. Terrell Buckley stepped in front of Herman Moore. He's been waiting and waiting and waiting for that to happen.
And Tim, exactly what we just talked about he did to perfection, and that's concentrate on the man. Now, he's been waiting for this first interception, and he finally got it. And here's how you do it. You see, you step back, now you see the ball, make your break. That's beautiful anticipation, great concentration, interception.
Well, that brings some cheers from the crowd, and I think more importantly, this picture here. His teammates congratulating him. Some of them didn't know what to make of him when he arrived with his big contract and attitude, saying that he was the best player since Jim Thorpe, or maybe better. Those things don't exactly endear you to professionals. And Buckley, really, I don't think he means any harm to anybody. It's just his nature. Deion Sanders is his idol, and that might tell you something, but he'll get over that, I hope. First down at the 15.
Nice job by Ronnie Hallstrom going through that hole and taking away the inside pursuit of that Detroit linebacking core. Watch Ron Hallstrom right there, 65 in your picture. See Tootie Robbins come out. He'll take Forrest Jamison right there. Boom. See that? That's a great job by Tootie Robbins. Now Hallstrom's job, look inside, and here it comes. See that right there? Just get that big body right there on Chris Spielman. Allow him to get through the hole. Couldn't draw it up better for the right side of that Green Bay Packer line.
On the 35-yard line, first down. Thompson just tripped at the line of scrimmage. Got to the 40 for a gain of 5, maybe 6, depending on the spot.
We asked Ron Wolf, who's the general manager and a player personnel guy, really, is what he always did with the Raiders. We asked him what kind of running back he is. He said he is an eye tailback. Now what that means is he's got great vision. You set him back there deep, you let everything develop, and then he'll just cut to where he's going. And what you saw right there, what you saw was an example of his vision.
2nd and 4. Thompson again. And Thompson almost to the 45-yard line, close to a first down. .84 yards on the day now for Darrell Thompson. His best effort of the season so far. And I think certainly showing his skills today, as you were talking about, Matt. They've wanted him to be their top running back. He's got 84 yards and 18 carries. Third-year man out of Minnesota. This offense suits his skills, and it may be that Thompson has arrived. Sidney gets the first down to the 46-yard line. 7:04 to go here in the fourth. Green Bay en route to their 7th victory of the season, their 4th in a row, leading 38-10.
And you watch Edgar Bennett come in, and you know, right there, Darrell Thompson, he had that cloud hanging over him. But in every cloud, you know, there's that silver lining. And the silver lining for the Green Bay Packers and the injury of Darrell Thompson was the development of Edgar Bennett and Vince Workman. All of a sudden, they found out that they have some depth at that position, and that's worked well for them.
No doubt. Bennett, just a rookie from Florida State, 4th-round pick this year, so not expected to be a big impact player in his rookie year, but he obviously has got the skills to give them that depth, and he picks up 6 here.
And what they really want to see out of Edgar Bennett right now is that kind of recklessness that he had when he came in against Philadelphia and just ran hard all the time. That's what they want to see. Since last week, he looked cautious. They want to see him get out of that mode and into the aggressive mode.
Edgar Bennett, one of 4 Florida State players on this Packer team. They're all still adjusting to the weather and the snow here.
Well, they wanted to control the ball, and they said this is a pass-oriented ball control team, but this is their season-high rushing day, and you've got to be pleased with that if you're a Green Bay Packer fan.
7 and 5. Sidney is stopped behind the line. It's Jamison, number 58, making the tackle and creating a 2-yard loss.
George Jamison having an all-right year, not having a great year. He was the MVP for the Lions last year in their defense, and they really expected big things from him this year, and it never really materialized. Not that he's played poorly, because he hasn't. He has played well. He just hasn't played to the standard he set for himself last year. Now, there's a lot of reasons why. You know, up front, people have been banged up. You don't even have Jerry Ball in there today. But you know what? This kid, he's going to be a good player.
'85 tackles coming into the game. Spielman, his linebacking mate, leading in that category. Sidney slipped and gained maybe a half yard. It'll be 4th down from midfield. Packers keeping it on the ground here, obviously, with 4:45 to go. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen in Milwaukee. It certainly is a little early to anoint Mike Holmgren as the next Vince Lombardi in Green Bay. But the fact is that he's off to a very impressive start when you consider the records since Lombardi.
There's only been 5 winning seasons, really, from head coaches since Lombardi. And in Green Bay, everything is measured before Lombardi and after Lombardi. It's kind of like BC and AD.
That's right. Well, I feel this guy's very much on the track to bringing the Packers back to those heights. Wagner's punt takes a Green Bay bounce, goes out of bounds inside the 20. And Detroit, with 4:38 left, try to do something. Andre Ware trying to make his mark today. Well, tonight on CBS, it begins with 60 Minutes as usual. An Israeli airman is a prisoner in Lebanon, and a Muslim holy man is a prisoner in Israel. What he tells Leslie Stahl tonight on 60 Minutes can free both of them. Then it's Murder, She Wrote, followed by the CBS Sunday movie, The Man Upstairs, a humorous and poignant story about a small-time thief who escapes from jail, finds friendship and redemption in the haven of an irascible elderly woman's home. That's tonight on CBS. Another outstanding evening of entertainment ahead following our football activity. Brett Favre talking to Sterling Sharp, 15 of 19, 214 yards, 3 touchdowns in the snow in Milwaukee. First down from the 17, Andre Ware. Sanders nowhere to go after he caught the ball, and a pickup of maybe 2.
And that's one of those hits that it really looks like he got a big hit, but all it was Sanders kind of falling down before he got there.
Tim Houck getting some time in the secondary of the Packers now, reserve safety, third-year man from Montana.
Well, all the Pro Bowl voting will be coming up and all the All-Pro stuff, and based on the numbers, you know, he doesn't have the big numbers. I'm talking about Barry Sanders. I'd say the kid in Pittsburgh does, or Barry Foster and those people. But I'm going to tell you what, I don't think, and I've said this again, I'll repeat myself, he's the best running back in all football.
He'll go to the Pro Bowl. Second down and 9. Herman Moore breaks a tackle and takes a tough hit from Chuck Cecil short of the first down. He'll go because the players in the league feel the same way about him that you do, Matt.
You're right. He'll go to the Pro Bowl. I'm talking about having an all-pro season. Barry Sanders is just the best. You know, Barry Foster is just having an outstanding season. But what sets Sanders apart, he's done it 4 straight years, and I suspect he'll continue to do it. Get close to this first down, they'll come in for a measurement. Green Bay over 350 total yards of offense today.
In that Pittsburgh-Seattle game in the fourth quarter, the Steelers up 17-14. You saw that score moments ago. Quarterback Neil O'Donohue has suffered a broken pardon me, as I'm thinking of that old kicker, remember him? Has broken his fibula. So a tough loss there for the Steelers. Bill Cowher, as they're having an outstanding year. And O'Donnell now out with a broken leg. So Bubby Brister will be the man again. Meanwhile, the Jets continue to lead Buffalo 24-17 in the fourth quarter. Bill's stumbling a bit.
Well, if you're Wayne Fontes and the Detroit Lions staff and you ask them what they need, I think when you look at this team, there are some obvious needs that jump up, and where they are is in the offensive line, and those are the first words out of his mouth. So we need some experienced offensive linemen. Unfortunately, Tim, they're hard to find.
Third down on a yard. Sanders breaks a tackle. Got by Bennett, got by a second man, Cecil, and has the first down. Well, for an NFL update, let's go once again to our studios in New York at Greg Gumbel.
All right, Tim, and at Philadelphia, watch linebacker Seth Joyner of the Eagles play the screen perfectly. One-handed pickoff and a 22-yard return for a touchdown. It is now an 11-point lead for the Eagles, 28-17. All the scores and highlights coming up on the postgame show, Tim.
Wow, that was something. That reminded me a lot of Matt Millen as linebacker. Kind of thing you could do.
All the time I did it. Unfortunately, it happened in practice. You know, nobody ever got to see it.
Well, that Joyner, he's capable of that kind of stuff.
Yes.
That's not an unusual thing for him. He is an amazing athlete. First down. Sanders gets a block. And a good tackle by Houck. Holds him to a gain of about 5.
Stop by Houck. Barry Landers.
And Landers' little boy?
Yeah. 24th 100-yard game. Beat Billy Sims. You know, Billy Sims, there was a guy who I just thought was outstanding and had his career cut short with an injury.
Sanders idle. That's complete to Aubrey Matthews. That was right on the money from Andre Ware. Ware's been moving the ball a little better here through the air this half. 2:37 remaining. We'll be back in Milwaukee in a moment. A long day in the cold of Milwaukee for the Detroit Lions, headed to their 10th defeat of the year. But Wayne Fontes telling us that he has to look to next year. He had to look at some players, Burton and Lynn on the offensive line, Andre Ware in at quarterback. Ware, by the way, now 13 of 21, Matt. What do you think Wayne's impressions have been?
I think he's got to be pleased with this kid. I think he's been throwing some very good balls. When he's had the time, he's been able to read, get to the open receiver, and I'm sure we'll see next week him start the game and have a strong game.
Some pressure on Ware now, rolls out of it, goes deep to the end zone for Moore, but out of the end zone, incomplete.
And that showed some arm strength right there, boy.
That was 60 yards in the air.
And he was rolling to his right, throwing it on the run, and he just flicked it out there. I don't think there's any question, we go back to that again, that Andre Ware has the physical tools. What he's got to do is be able to learn the mechanics. He's got to be more technically sound, set his feet, and get more comfortable with that scheme.
Larry Tharp is coming in on the offensive line, number 71.
The other thing that you can't teach is what you got to get used to in the National Football League is you got to learn how to take a hit.
That was Don Davey, number 99, getting some defensive time for Green Bay. Second-year man from the University of Wisconsin. Ware flushed, maintained some presence, tried to get it to Sanders. He couldn't hold on. The pass too low.
It's a good job right there by Andre Ware of maintaining his composure and waiting for Sanders. He waited, then found him, boom, got the ball out there. Good patience.
Third down. Ball at the 38-yard line of Green Bay. 2:24 to go. Ware would dearly love to throw a touchdown pass here in his first effort in a long time out there on the field for the Detroit Lions.
And there's that infamous sideline where both teams are on the same sideline, and they've been able to stay on either side of that white line team all day long.
Ware lost the ball this time, recovered by Green Bay. Vernell Dent, I believe, came up with a loose ball. Tony Bennett, it appeared to be the guy who put the hit on Ware. And it's Bryce Popp. Bryce Popp came up with a loose ball. Number 95. 8th fumble today by Detroit.
Ware gets back and sets. They're coming with the blitz. They're bringing the safety up the middle. Now he gets flushed from the pocket. There's Bennett with the hit hand on the ball. Archambault can't get it. Bryce Popp over the top. Fumble recovery.
4 fumbles lost out of 8 dropped by the Lions today.
There's Tony Bennett, number 90, having a great year, really. Leading on, that goes down as another sack. I think that gives him 12.5 for the season, and that puts him in the top in the league, top 4, I believe.
So Green Bay with a first down at their 47-yard line. And again, just they'll keep it on the ground here, and the Pack en route to their 4th consecutive victory, the first time since 1984 that they've achieved that. Mike Holmgren has won all 3 games here in Milwaukee, and he can smile. Two minutes left in Milwaukee County Stadium, and this game is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Green Bay Packers and the National Football League and CBS is prohibited.
Now there's a happy man right there. He came out and said that he didn't really like going down to Milwaukee, but he knows that Milwaukee's been very good to him this year. He's 3-0 down here.
Not only that, he knows the loyalty of the fans and the history here now. I admired his apology for his comments. Nobody wants to make a bus trip if you don't have to, but this is a unique situation. They've got great fans here in Milwaukee, have had for years, and they have been loyal. They've come out, they've sold out today, and they have enjoyed the Packers' success today. Edgar Bennett leaves a third down and about 4.5.
3rd and 4, ball on the 46.
One thing about them is we remind you about our NFL Today post-game show. Greg and Terry coming up with scores and highlights from around the league. Packers coming down from Green Bay by bus. They accommodated them pretty well. They gave them a choice of movies depending on which bus of the 3 you rode. You got to see Ricochet, or Boomerang, or Lethal Weapon 3. Which bus would you have been on there, man?
I would have been on the one that got me the fastest food.
Third down, long 4. Edgar Bennett gets about 4 more. Tripped up by Spielman. It'll leave 4th down at about a yard. Clock stopped with 1:02 still to go. Taken by the Lions. Today's game was produced by Richie Zients, directed by Artie Kempner. The NFL Today was produced by Eric Mann, directed by Duke Struck. And the senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gorin.
Now they're already telling their stories about how well they played today. Buckley giving them his rendition of his interception. Bennett telling them how he got the sack. They're all over there. Yeah, this is the time when football is fun. You get to the side. It's not as cold as it is because you got the wind. And you're standing down there. Everybody played great. Tell them about the hits, all the little things that go along. That's a lot of fun.
Fans are having fun too, despite the cold weather. So the Packers can feel good now about the playoff chances still being very much alive. They're over the 500 mark. They go to Houston. That's a tough game, obviously, and a huge one for the Oilers. Then they get the Rams at home. They got to feel good about their chances there. And then they're indoors at Minnesota. And a big game for both of them, the final game of the season.
And they started against Minnesota in an overtime game, and they'll finish Minnesota. And there are some bona fide nuts. Now that one guy's cheating. See the second guy from the left? He got his sweater on. See this guy right here? He showed up with his sweater.
Yeah, the guy, obviously there were one man short there. Decided that he wasn't going to take his shirt off on a day like this. He had to wear 2 letters. 4th down and 2. No fans like Packer fans. On 4th down, McNabb picked it up. So the Packers keep the ball, and that's actually a break for the Lions, because now the Packers can run the clock out here without a punt exchange.
I like what Andre Ware did here today. He didn't have the time that you'd like to see him have, but he's got a lot of talent, and everybody knew that. Came up with some big plays.
Well, he's been waiting for his chance. No doubt he'll have to start next week. And the Lions will be able to make further judgment on whether this is a quarterback who can help them in the future or not. Somebody they drafted number 1.
So Brett Favre has the big day. Sterling Sharp has the big day. But the biggest day of all goes to the offensive line of the Green Bay Packers. They had an outstanding day protecting, creating the holes to run the ball.
So those who are left here in Milwaukee, and it's still a goodly number of the 50,000 who came to the game, applaud the efforts of the Green Bay Packers, who won all 3 games played here in County Stadium. And the Packers have won their 4th in a row to move to 7-6, and still with a shot at a playoff spot. Who would have thunk it?
I tell you what, they wouldn't have thought it early, but right now, with the level of confidence and the way they're picking up this scheme, they have as good a shot as any of the people vying for that last position.
Well, okay, coming up next, the NFL Today post-game show. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.